Hi, everyone, and welcome. It is an honor and a privilege to kick off this Chadathon to support the newly formed SPTV Foundation. The STP, sorry, folks, the SPTV Foundation is a charity organization that helps people that leave Scientology. The president and founder is a great man named Aaron Smith Levin. This is a man that has helped so many people I can't count. He's helped people leaving Scientology, and he's helped regular people like myself and many other people. Now, I'm kicking off this event, but Miss Marilyn Honig and Mr. John Poe are really the brains behind the operation. They did a lot to make this happen, folks. And this event wouldn't be possible without all of you. To everyone watching, to everyone donating, we thank you. We have found our mission and our moment. Together, we force the spring. Together, we make a difference. And now the show. Back to you, Marilyn.
Hello, everybody.
Howdy, howdy, howdy.
Hi.
Hi, Poe.
Howdy. How are we doing tonight?
I'm doing well. How are you, Chad?
Very good. Thank you.
Great intro.
Yes,
Good
sir.
Thank you very much.
So, Chad, how do you feel? I mean, this is the 1-year anniversary of the Chadathon.
I absolutely cannot believe it. I didn't even know the 1 year was coming up until you told me. And it is truly amazing how far all of us have came since that.
Yeah, May 25th. It's exciting. It's exciting. So, can you tell us a little bit about the inspiration behind the first Chadathon and anything else you want to talk about, like how you became Clearwater Chad and got a channel and then started the Chadathons?
Oh, absolutely! I love telling those stories because now we have a lot of new people here. So the first Chadathon was something I had started myself, and you were nice enough to come on as soon as you seen me on after a little while and help me throughout the whole thing. But that was to benefit the Aftermath Foundation at the time. We did raise a few $1,000s for that one, and that one was that was the first one. It wasn't even called the Chadathon back then, and so that was great. And I became Clearwater Chad because of Aaron Smith Levin. Aaron at the time before he did even lives, and I believe Marilyn was in the chats too. Before it was even called the SPTV network, it was just Aaron making videos, reaction videos of Tampa Brad, almost daily. And Aaron came up with the challenge for someone to come up with a character named Clearwater Chad, and I took him up on it pretty much the next day. I think I went out to a local community college and started filming, my new character, and that was 100%. I wouldn't have a channel if it wasn't from Aaron.
Yeah, so I was thinking for the Chadathon, the very first night that you did it, you just kind of sat there and was like, all right, I'm going to be here all night. And then, Poe, you were the first guest, and then I popped on a few minutes later.
Yeah, it's been pretty crazy how this has gone. I mean, when we first started, most of us had no idea what we were even doing. We were just trying to piece it together as we went, and it's amazing to see how all the channels have grown since then and how big this community has gotten. It's amazing how much growth we've had, and here it is, a year later, and we're having a Chadathon for a very special foundation that stepped up when others wouldn't, and they're doing the right thing for those who are leaving Scientology and really need that step to be able to get themselves into regular life outside of that cult. And I'm very proud to be part of this.
Me too. I'm really excited, and I just want to pop up the donation page. So this is where we're sending everyone. There should be a link in the chats, and I also have a ticker that I'll keep going. But if you look up the SPTVFoundation.org, and Jenna Miscavige was nice enough to actually put a big fancy donation button. So now it's nice and easy. You just hit donate, and it goes through Stripe. And there's also a little heading that if you absolutely have to use something else like PayPal, you can inquire about that too. But it's so it's all there. So I'm so excited. I hope we raise a ton of money.
Absolutely.
know, it's always good to have a goal. What do you think, guys? 10,000? You think we can do it?
I think we can. I mean,
Absolutely.
you know,
Yep.
when we did the one for Miriam, we did way more than that, and that was for one person. This is for everyone that's leaving Scientology to be able to get that help. So, folks,
Yep.
remember, if you do a super chat, that doesn't go directly to the SPTV Foundation, and YouTube's going to take 30% of that. So we've been putting the link in the chat since we started, and if you want to donate to the SPTV Foundation, just follow that link, go directly there, and donate right to the SPTV Foundation. That's the best way that this is going to happen.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
Chad, I mean, how's it feel? You feel, I know I'm feeling older by the day. How are you feeling now?
I was definitely going to say I definitely feel a year older, Poe.
Yeah.
And like you said, we've grown a lot in everything we've done in our work in our community. It feels good, you know.
And there's, you know, I mean, we've got such a great community out there. So many people that are they want to be part of this. They want to make a difference. They want to help in this fight. And every time that I come on and I'm in my live streams and see all the support that everyone's putting out there, it is just amazing. And I love it so much. Oh, there we go. We got
people.
got a lot of
Scooby-Dooski.
Hey, John.
John Scooby-Dooski. There's so many people. Yeah. Mona, hi there. This Mischief Managed. I mean, there's so many people pouring in. Thank you so much, everyone, for hanging out with us. We're going to be here for 10 hours. 10 hours, and we've got some amazing guests. Some are surprises, and we are going to be up all night, right? Most of us. Chad he's a trooper. He wanted to do the whole 10 hours, and I'm going to do some giveaways throughout the night. I've got some merch, and I actually designed something for especially for this, so I think it'll be fun.
Excellent.
So yeah, hang out with us, and this is going to be awesome.
I've got a couple pieces that I made that I'm going to be offering up. So,
nice.
You know, whoever comes in with the top bid on them, those will be sent out to you. I'm going to take care of all the shipping and everything, let all the money go right to the SPTV Foundation, and you just enjoy.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I saw what you posted on
for
Facebook.
The top donation after yours, maybe I'll throw in a Rodney or something if somebody wants it.
Wait a minute, where's the dogs at?
My dogs? Oh, they're in the other room.
Roscoe's getting a bath right now. I can hear her.
Oh, really? Yeah, I can bring them in later on.
There you go.
I'm going to just hang out for a few minutes, and then you can start bringing your guests in.
Yeah.
But, you know, I thought, if you don't mind, I was maybe going to play just a couple minutes of the very first Chadathon.
Absolutely.
Okay, let's do that. I think it'll be really fun. And Chad, you just kind of popped on one night and was like, we're doing this, guys. And you just were saying, I'm going to be here all night. Come keep me company kind of thing, right?
It would cause that in my head. It said, well, if I delay it, it's never going to happen. So I just did it without, you know, and I put in there it's going to be 10 hours. So I couldn't even back from myself what was going to happen.
Yeah. And you know what? No one needs permission to raise money for a charity. Anybody can do a Chadathon. You can do a Poetathon, or I'm just looking at the chat. You can do a pizza, eat more pizza-a-thon, you know? Anybody can raise money charity. So
as long as we don't do a Sarasota Jerrython, we'll be all right. So
so this was called The Aftermath Telethon starts now.
There we go.
1 year ago. This is great. Just hanging out at your computer.
Yep.
So let's play a couple of seconds of this.
Hey guys, we're doing the we talked about this 3 months ago on the lives. The guys did about the telethon. It's just time to do it. Be on all night. If anyone wants to join. If not, that's fine too.
The excitement in your voice, Chad.
That's funny.
Oh, we got music. Ooh, setting the mood.
We will be here all night till the morning, if you guys want.
In case you don't know what all night is, it's to the morning.
I
Chad,
need some
you're
of
the
that
best.
funky
You're so much fun.
1970s DJ kind of stuff. Welcome. Thank you for joining me. Why don't you slide in and let's get comfortable?
We got some great people coming in. Perth Scientology, Bo Beats. Hey there. Hey there. We got Marjan. Hello. Oh, and I think is this one of your
Yeah.
guests, Becky?
And Becky, you can go ahead and go and jump in backstage, and we'll bring you in here. So just
Nice.
seeing.
All right. Well,
let's see,
what do you think? Do you think you want to start bringing in some guests?
Yeah, let's go ahead. Why don't you hang out for a few more minutes? We'll bring a couple people in.
Okay, sure.
And go from there. So
absolutely. Well, you can introduce your guests.
All right. Well, everybody, you should know him if you've been to my channel. He's been on quite a few times with me. He is a fellow retired law enforcement officer, former LA County Sheriff's deputy, a good friend of mine, and he is such an amazing supporter of the SPTV community. His new channel, he brought his channel back to life, and he's doing some awesome content out there. Really proud to have him as a friend and part of the community. So please welcome Sir Crepidus.
Hello. Thank you very much, John. I appreciate the intro. Marilyn, Chad, hello. Good to see you tonight.
Awesome. Thank you for being here, brother. We really appreciate it.
Absolutely. My pleasure.
So what's in the works for Sir Crepidus out there in your channel?
Well, what's in the works is trying to do more content and trying to get out there and do a little bit of filming of Scientology, a little bit more protesting. Of course, right now I've got a couple of physical injuries that's limiting my ability to get out there and really do that right now. But I'm definitely going to be trying and put out some more videos and hopefully be able to help some people out there when they need the help.
Absolutely. I think that one of the important things is that those who are leaving Scientology find a safe space to go to. And I think that the SPTV Foundation is going to be that safe space for them. They're going to find nothing but compassion, empathy. They're going to find people who really want to help and, make a difference for them all. Oh my gosh. Did you see down in the backstage?
Oh, nice.
All the way on the end. I saw that. I was like, what the?
Oh my God. You want to do that next? Let's do
We're going to have to. How do you ignore that? All right, folks. So get your rosary beads out and your Xenu statuettes and be prepared as we bring in the lady of the cloth. Sister Cheryl joins us. Howdy.
Good evening, everybody. Good evening. Are you all behaving?
If you have a ruler in your hand, yes, I'm behaving.
Yeah, right. Yes, Sister Cheryl.
The ruler is right here. Don't you step out of line, young man.
I'll be good.
Keep your Satan's in place.
No,
you're going to whoop them Satans out of them, huh?
Absolutely. So you all better be behaving tonight. I'm here to make sure everyone stays in line.
I saw that. I saw when you jumped in, and I was just like, "Oh my gosh, look at this!" Let's see.
Oh God, I just had to after this week being told we're all in a cult.
Yeah.
I just took it to another level.
We're all in the cult of Scientology.
So you probably don't need any introduction, but Feral Cheryl, everyone head on over to @Feral Cheryl on the Loose, right? Is that your channel? And subscribe.
Yep, that's me. Feral Cheryl on the Loose.
Absolutely.
And the Supreme Ruler.
Oh my goodness. So we have another surprise religious person who is in the backgrounds waiting as well. He's got his uniform on. He probably still has another 20 hours of shift left at Flag, but he decided to come in and help us out for a little bit here. Please welcome Dusty Soda Fountain. How are we doing?
Hello, welcome,
brother.
Hello there, Dusty. Dusty, do you have radiation burns or something? You're smoking a cigarette pretty heavily there.
No, you didn't. You did, didn't you? Look at you.
It's all the niacin.
Cheryl,
I
I
need
need
your
your cans. How's the gout doing?
Cans out.
Oh, I need auditing.
Are you ready,
I can
brother?
actually see it. I can see
Let's
it.
go.
Hands up.
I think
Hands up.
Dusty's stating
I
for
want to
glitching.
grab those cans.
Nice.
You can have my cans.
Oh,
Hi,
we're
hi,
gonna get
everybody.
It's gonna be a
demonetized.
long night, guys. It's
There's
gonna
a
be a long
joke in
night.
there.
And this is just the beginning.
I know.
Welcome,
Hey, Dave,
everybody.
you have anything like this over in Thailand there, buddy? That's my buddy Dave from Gotta Love Thailand.
Oh,
I
God.
think he's jumped into the wrong one tonight to see. So, real good guy, though. Real good guy. So, you guys, all three of you there, have just recently jumped back into the SPTV world, and jumped into a period. So, what got you guys coming into this, and what got you motivated to start helping out in this fight against Scientology? Bill, you want to start us off?
Sure. Yeah, so as some people know, I actually used to protest back around 2007 to 2009. Of course, I got fair gamed heavily. I had to pull back for a while just for the sake of my career. But guess what? Now I'm retired, and I started looking at those old Scientology videos again and watching some of Mark Bunker's stuff.
I'm going to jump out real quick. I've got Jamie Mustard calling me on Facebook. So.
Okay.
All right.
Sounds good.
All right.
Yeah, so I thought, screw it. I'm retired now. What do they get? They're not going to come after my job anymore. And I just started lurking, watching everybody's channels, and I got that itch again. And also seeing that there was a foundation set up, I thought, wow, this is my chance to really help. And screw OSA, screw Scientology. They can come annoy me all they want. I really don't give a damn. So, yeah, I just want to try to be a part of helping, not just to end the abuse in Scientology, but also to be able to help those that are coming out. Because, when I sit down and I reflect on the hardships that people who are in Scientology had, the abuses, the crazy work hours, the crazy punishments, it's terrifying to me because they just don't have a way out sometimes. And once they do decide they have a way out and they get out, now they have this whole new set of hurdles trying to get, acclimated to society, trying to get into the workforce and trying to make a life for themselves. It's terrifying to think about that. So, I just wanted to be a part of this. And I was so glad to see that there's a foundation out there that's going to help them when it's time for them to leave. Yep.
Absolutely. We appreciate everyone's support, all the efforts. We got the protesters, the channels, we've got the second, third, however many gens. And yeah, I just love this community. I really do. I don't know where Poe on the go went, but maybe we can pop up a couple more guests so we're not leaving them waiting.
Absolutely.
I'll introduce one of them down there. I see is a friend of mine, and Sister Farrell and I had him on the stream the other night, and you got to watch him, Cheryl, because I'll be popping off for a few minutes and coming back in a few hours. So yeah, get your ruler ready for the one, the only Sarasota Jerry.
Hey, Jerry.
Good
Hi,
evening.
everybody.
Good evening.
Can you hear me okay?
Welcome.
You can come up.
I can come up.
Yes.
Is that better?
Yeah, much better.
Okay.
Yeah. That's better.
All right. I got to behave myself or Sister Cheryl will slap me
Yes.
around.
Yes. I need
Good to
that
see
sound
everybody.
thing.
It's great to see everybody. Hi, Chad, Marilyn.
Hey, Jerry.
Oh, Sir Crepidus, it's great to
Hello,
see
sir.
you.
Good to see you.
Dusty, and one of my sidekicks, Farrell Cheryl there, Sister Farrell.
Now you're all on the bottom. You are all the part of the Clearwater crew that
Right.
go
Yep.
out there in front of flag.
And I
Yeah.
think we can now put the crazy word in front of it. Crazy Clearwater crew.
Cold water. It's cold water.
Cold water.
Sorry, cold water.
That's right. Absolutely. There he is.
Sorry,
Oh, look at
Roscoe
that.
was going nuts up there for some reason.
I feel like I'm in a Zoom chat.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hollywood Squares.
or Zoom training, basically. And we've got somebody else who's, we got a couple more people that are waiting backstage. I'm going to bring them on in real quick here while we're rolling. First, he was on a little while back with me while we were explaining the DSR and the treatment for PTSI. He is doing some fantastic work. He's helping out so many people with the work that he's doing. He's a great guy. He went through a ton of just misery being in Scientology. Please welcome our good friend, Jamie Mustard.
All right.
Hey, Jamie.
Hey. I
Welcome.
saw Marilyn with her hat on, so I thought I had to
Yes,
try.
all right.
All right.
Reporting for duty.
Okay.
So nice to meet you, Jamie.
Nice to meet you too, Marilyn. Nice to see all of you.
Thank you for
Nice to
being
meet you,
here.
Jamie.
I was honored to be asked. I'm an avid supporter of the SPTV Foundation.
Amazing.
Bless you, sir.
I'll
And,
try
you know,
not to cry tonight, Jamie, because every time I've seen an interview with you, I'm weeping. So tonight I'm
Wow.
smiling. Don't make me cry.
Okay.
I just I just love you to pieces, and I just want to hug you.
I really appreciate it. Yeah, it's funny. I've been working on I'm working on an art project in relation to kind of becoming public, and I was talking to someone, like, how do you talk about? Someone said, how would you talk about your childhood? Growing up as a baby. I was born and went straight into as a baby, right? To the baby nursery in downtown LA. And hey, Chad, how you doing? I see you everywhere, Chad. It's really nice to meet you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm a survivor. And the reality is if the SP, I had a place to land, one place, and I wasn't sure about it. And I had a place to land, but if I had not had that place to land when I escaped at 19, I would have had nothing. Without something like the SPTV Foundation, my life would have been completely predetermined by the circumstance. So that's why I'm here.
well, Jamie, I don't know if you've noticed or not, but people absolutely love you and they love what you're doing.
Absolutely. Everyone's saying hi.
Your story is heartbreaking, and you have touched so many people with what has happened to you and how you have turned your life around and where you are going in life now. You are such an inspiration to so many people, and you just need to know how many people really appreciate and love you. So,
Thanks, man.
Mama just received your book.
Okay. Wow.
Mama D63.
Well, I want to thank you for your book and also for the information on the shots, because those shots have saved my life.
Yo, you did
So-
it?
Well, I did through Medicare. I just
Okay.
got the plain SGB shots,
Okay.
but I'm still going to go for the DSR. But just those alone have changed my life. So I just want to thank you for that.
Wow.
and
Wow,
they-
you're very welcome. I mean, quite honestly, what brought me out more than anything, because I carry, I hate to say it, I'm going to make Marilyn cry. I always say that I carry, shame and humiliation, and I have to give Aaron credit in a way, because, he was saying, I was like, this is going to define me. I don't want to be defined by this past, which is this Love Boat sci-fi past, And then Aaron said, no, it'll make you more interesting. But I really believe that in my bones, because I think coming in so young. And so it was when the book wasn't that this kind of PTSI treatment wasn't kind of going into the community naturally like I thought it would, where I felt kind of like I got to come out and speak for this thing, because I just know all these people that I grew up with or that were in there for a long period of time, or just or just our audience, which is trauma survivors, the audio, right? Like, not that we're, somebody has to get the word out, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think you've been a wonderful sounding board for these new treatments. I think you are really getting it out there like no one else would be able to. And, again, hearing the traumas that you've gone throughout your life and seeing who you've turned into and how you're really taking those traumas and turning it into a way to help others. It's, again, truly inspiring. And we all thank you for what you've done.
Wow. Well, you're welcome. It's really new. And I will say this, just based on what you just said, I almost have a hard time accepting that, only because, and this just goes to what we're fighting, 7 years ago when I went to therapy for the first time and they were diagnosing me with post-traumatic stress, I thought it was crazy that they would say that I had that. And describing what I've been through as trauma, I thought was ridiculous, and that's because of the indoctrination of how we're raised and what we're taught, which is you're responsible for everything that happens to you. You pulled it in, you deserved it. And, any sort of excess emotion is, case on post, you dramatizing, whatever. And so, I'm still young when it comes to, accepting that I've been through something. I mean, I know it's a strange thing to say because I've told my story, but I still struggle with that.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I can understand that. It takes, personally how long it takes. Trauma sometimes never leaves you. And sometimes the effects of it will be so long lasting. That's why it is so important that we have the SPTV Foundation to support those who are coming out. And, while others are saying, oh, this is experimental, it's not approved, whatever, but they can talk all the bullshit they want. But the fact is, it's helping our finest soldiers in the United States military, our special forces soldiers, bringing them back from the edge.
Yeah.
How can you deny what this treatment is doing? And we thank you so much for that, Jamie.
That's huge.
And the SPTV Foundation supports it. They, Aaron jumped in before SPTV Foundation had even become a real thing. He said, I'm taking care of Miriam on this. So, thank you. Thank you for what you're doing.
Yeah, thank you guys for what you're doing. I watch all of you, and I'm inspired by you. I'm proud to be part of it. And it's a special group of people. And not to throw shade, but had I not come out and made some comments supporting Aaron, I think the other place would have supported it, and that breaks my heart. Because are we about healing people with what works, or are we about what's petty? Right?
Absolutely,
right. Yeah,
absolutely. Marilyn wants to know if it's offered in Canada.
It is. Shoot me something on Instagram, and I will see. I can probably find a place. I get emails from all over the world, and one of the things that I've been doing lately is my hope and my belief actually is that in 5 to 10 years, this will be like LASIK, because I think 30 to 40% of the population has this injury, and it's causing their anxiety, and they don't know why. And so, so just the amount of relief it can give someone, like there's so many things that work that are amazing out there, therapy and psilocybin and ketamine and hyperbaric, and there are all these amazing therapies. But this thing, what it can do for you in 2 days, 2 to 3 days, there's nothing like it. The amount of relief, and that can give you the hope that you need to carry on. I mean, Sister Farrell can talk about this, like to carry on with these things that take longer, that are harder. It can just take that edge off, as you said, John.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the, and that's the thing is, I don't understand how you can look at something like this that is making an impact on people who are in some of the hardest trauma situations there's been, and say this is something that we're not going to support. It's doing it, and it's it absolutely astounds me. And like you said, it feels petty in how that it's being done. And again, this is why we need the SPTV Foundation. We need a foundation that's willing to look at things and say, yeah, well, some people may not like it, but it's actually having an impact and it's helping people out. Why wouldn't we support this? You know, instead of worrying about personal, you know, vendettas, personal challenges, those kinds of things. This is about helping others. That's what we're supposed to be here for, bringing an end to Scientology and helping those who want to get out of Scientology find that safe space where they can go and they can start making their way into the world from Scientology. It's mind-blowing to me. So,
Well, it's mind-blowing. Yeah, sorry.
Oh no, I'm sorry, Jamie.
No,
Yeah, I just wanted to say, Jamie, you know, I've seen a lot of your content, and you know, especially seeing you here on this Chadathon. You are such a humble guy. I'm actually very impressed by you, and you know, you aren't just helping people that are trying to get through the trauma and the anxiety and the depression. You're actually saving lives, because we know sometimes those types of illnesses can drive people over the edge, and I just wanted you to understand that you're saving lives. You're not just helping people; you're also saving lives.
I can't tell you how much it means, you guys' comments, because I don't know how I'm perceived. And, you know, my biggest goal, like, even if someone doesn't get the treatment right away, but I make an argument and I get them to understand that what's happening to them is biological and they're not crazy. That right there just relieves so much pressure.
right.
Because, you know, one of the things I've tried to explain, and I just want to say it really quick, is that the primary thing that these guys come back from, these special forces guys, is this thing called operator syndrome that you actually don't get from violent war. You get it from prolonged toxic stress. And being in a group where everybody rats on each other, everybody snitches on each other, your parents will, if there's a golden piece of paper issued on you with a fatwa or like a thing labeling you, everyone you know and your parents will never talk to you again. If you don't believe in this thing, or if you're critical of this thing that hurt you, you have to be able to tell your own story. If I tell my story, it doesn't make them look good. But if I don't tell my story, then I bottle it all up and I die. So I have to be able to tell my story. It doesn't make them look good. The stress of knowing that you could lose everyone in a day just for being yourself because of a paper, and then all the other things that go on in those environments, not just in the Seaborg, you know, but also just the external way that it affects your life. You know, I have friends that never were in, their parents were public, but knowing that their parents had this third person in the relationship put all this stress on them. And that causes this biological change in your body, you know, and so the same symptoms that these guys are coming back from Afghanistan and Iraq from, if you grow up in this group, even if you're not in the inner core, you know, C group, you're likely have a biological change that's been caused on your body just from the stress of it. And I had lived with that stress for so long that I didn't even know it was stress anymore. I just thought it was a part of me.
And wow. I'm paying attention, but I've got 80 different things going on right here with keeping this stuff rolling. I got people texting me and everything else.
Yeah, that operator syndrome, that is, I'm not operating anymore.
Yeah.
I'm really glad about that. It took that away.
Well,
the constant humming, the songs, and that voice, and the feelings.
Let me just say, when Jamie and I were, when you were on the live, and then when we're talking privately before and after, and you started listing off symptoms that you believed I may have, it was almost it almost shook me to the core, because you were naming off so many things that are so prevalent in my life and what I do and how I operate on a daily basis. And it just absolutely surprised me that just from a few minutes talking to me, you could tell that there was PTSI in there, but it was affecting me in different ways than it does a lot of other people. But it just goes to show you, folks, it doesn't always manifest itself as you see with some people. It manifests itself in so many ways, and there's so many different triggers that can make it happen. I mean, in my situation, I've been through 30 plus years of going through trauma on an almost daily basis and thinking, well, you know what? I'm a cop, I'm a man, I'm just going to man up and deal with it. And we don't realize what those traumas do to each and every one of us on a daily basis. And I was amazed that you could read those things so quickly just talking to me.
Well, because the change, we have different brains. So some of us bottle it up, some of us let the tiger out, but it's the same feelings on the inside. We just deal with it in different ways, Yeah. And every one of us that's been involved with this kind of pressure has experienced a biological change. One of the examples I always get is if you take a horse or a cat or a dog or an elephant and you put it under extreme stress, for a month, it'll never be the same. And it's not because we just gave that horse a disorder. We've somehow changed its biology, and now we know why, and we know how. You can see it on an MRI, and it's pretty mainstream. This private equity firm is opening up clinics all over the world. Miriam was able to get this in Melbourne, right, at one of these clinics. So it's like they're turning it into Starbucks, and that's one of the. And so, but also I should say that I found all these lower cost providers, and so people should. I've been looking for less expensive ways where the special forces guys are getting it done, and so I have a bunch of other. Outside of the Stella Center, a bunch of lower cost providers. So, if it's a financial issue, people should hit me up on Instagram and I'll steer them. And I'm sending more and more people to these other providers just for what it's worth.
Yeah. And that's I can't wait to get you and Miriam on and get the update from Miriam and see how she's doing. I know that from, talking to her on Facebook and everything, she seems so much different now. And I can't wait to hear from her personally and have both of you on and get that update. I think it's going to be life-changing for a lot of people. And thank you for that. Yeah.
And I know the SPTV Foundation, even before it was totally up and running, was, paid for one of these and sent somebody. And, and Aaron has been a supporter from the start, right? I guess I could say, Mike Brown went Absolutely. And got it. I mean, he's been public about that. And he had some pretty profound things to say. So it's all about just, in terms of humility, I think it's hard to see. It's hard to kind of, the hardest part about, I guess, my daily life is that people don't see your past when they meet you. So I have these outward things in my life that make it look like, I've made it or I've got it all together. And the reality is that when I tell those stories, they really happened. And they almost feel like they happened to somebody else. And it's really, really hard to deal with. I still, in the sense that somebody that experienced the things that I experienced, and this is why the SPTV Foundation is so important, really should be dead, right? I shouldn't have survived it. And I have guilt for that. That's partly where the humility comes from, right? And if we survive something and there's so many kids from these early buildings, these 70s kids that were raised in it that are dead, that didn't survive it, right? So I just want people to know that when they're donating to this foundation, they're taking, this is I believe that the overactive sympathetic fight or flight nervous system, like the ultimate form of fight, around Los Angeles where we grew up, was gang ridden. The ultimate form of fight, if you're stuck in this fight or flight biologically, is murder, aggression. And in the military where you're trained to protect, it's suicide. And I really do believe, it's a profound thing to say, but from what I've seen with all the time I've spent with special forces and a Rwandan genocide survivor and war correspondents and all these different people and ex-Scientologists, right? that mechanism of self-harm goes away. If this thing makes you feel like you're going to die all the time when you've had the biological change from toxic stress and you have this excess nerve growth in your amygdala, you feel, if you're carrying that weight all the time, you're not going to want to live, or you're going to be very aggressive, right? So the SPTV Foundation supports this. It's incredibly mainstream, and it is FDA approved for pain. Okay, it's been around for 100 years. Obama endorsed it, in 2008, right? It's like this myth that it's somehow not mainstream or even that experimental isn't even true. No, it's just new. It's just new, newer, And so it's, in terms of things that you can go and get done, this is one of the safest medical procedures on the planet. They use an ultrasound, and it's relatively, it's pretty quick and pretty easy. So,
well,
I'm just,
not exactly painless. It is 3 seconds of holy, and then you're like, okay, but then it's all worth it. I mean, they could stab me 70 more times after that.
Okay, all right, fair enough. Okay,
those 3 seconds were worth it. Yeah.
But it's safe and it's quick and it's and the whole point is to, what's the point of being alive if you're like so stressed out by your body all the time that you can't experience joy, you can't experience, I was, up until I did this treatment 3 years ago, I was having good things starting to happen, but I wasn't enjoying them very much because I was always just feeling this constant biological pressure.
Yeah. It's understandable. We haven't heard from somebody too much tonight, and I'd like to hear from them, see how they're doing. I know he was asking if you offer it in a suppository form. Jerry, how you been doing?
Oh, man.
Only if I can do it personally. Then we can do it.
With a slingshot. Who said that?
Jerry, you've been so quiet over there. What's going on?
Just listening. This is great.
My God.
Gotta document
I love
that.
listening to Jamie.
Behave. Okay.
Hey, all right.
Hey, John, it's hard to be silly after all that.
Yeah. And I had to do that. I mean, we've been getting so serious.
Yeah.
And I don't want to take away from the importance of what Jamie's doing and the treatment itself. But we're also here for it. Tonight's a celebration of the SPTV Foundation. And I think I'm going to do the first offer for a giveaway. And well, actually, it's going to be basically more like an auction. Whoever is the one who, can show that they've donated the highest amount or make the highest bid on it. I made one of these for Mona, and I made another one special up. These are pretty much like one-offs, but well, let me put it back together because I haven't finished it up yet. But whoever comes in first will get their very own laser cut SPTV sign. I will go ahead and pay for the shipping, get it over to you. Made by me right there on the laser. So anybody who's interested or throwing out what you're offering. So
beautiful work, John. Beautiful.
You're gonna put your autograph on the back, right?
Yeah. I've got a nice silver pen. I'm gonna autograph on there with. But just if you're wanting it and you want to make a bid on it or an offer on it, let me know. Put it into the chat there, and then make that donation to the SPTV Foundation at sptvfoundation.org/donate. And like I said, I will pay for the shipping on it, get it out to you. Just make sure I'm going to put my email address in there. Whoever is the winner of it, just make sure you email me so I can get your shipping information, and we'll get it right on out there to you. The thing is that this is tonight we're here celebrating what SPTV Foundation is doing and the great cause that they're bringing up here. And let's see. Okay, I'm just checking right now. I'm kind of modding as well as let's see, Squirrel Girl. Oh, you want it signed on the front if you get it. Okay. Squirrel Girl is offering $100. So yeah, all right. Just Susie's offering 100 also. So yeah, all right, folks.
You gotta go 110 from there.
At least 110 on it. And remember,
I get 110. Can I get 105? Can somebody give me 105 for it? 125 from Susie. Do I see 130, 135? Do I see 135?
I see one. We got 125, 125, 130, 125.
We're at 125 right now. Somebody got 130?
Oh,
150 from Secrepitus.
Hell yeah.
I'll just have to bring that. If you win it, Secrepitus, I'm just going to have to bring it with me when we get out there to LA.
Absolutely.
Anybody, 155, 160, 155.
I
think you might want to take it on that one, John. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Let's see.
I think we might have a last minute bid coming in from Mrs. Crepitus.
Laura FM, hello.
At me.
We're looking.
SPTV Atlanta, hello. 175 from Susie. 175.
Wow, all right.
Went to 200. 200.
Hey, you're spending all my money.
That's fantastic. That's fantastic.
There we go.
190 from Mark.
Let it keep rolling there. And
190,
remember, folks, that you're not giving this money to me. You're giving the money to the SPTV Foundation. Go to sptvfoundation.org/donate, and that's where the money goes. It's not coming to me. I will take care of the shipping on it out of pocket for this. It's worth it to me. So
200's already bid. 200 is already a bid.
And I just want to say, if somebody ties my 200, please let them have it. If 200 is the winner and somebody else bid 200,
Susie's there at 200.
Yes.
But I'm still going to donate 200 though.
Oh, you're so awesome with that.
That's fantastic.
We will be getting updates, and they will be coming along as we go. It's a little too early in right now to start doing it, but once we get updates from Aaron, we're going to start putting those out there for everybody so you can see what's going on with it. Let's see. We are up to how many we have in here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we're going to bring someone else in at this time. And folks, if you've been watching my channel as of late, you know the amazing work that she's been doing in the background. She has been investigating into so many things. She has been contacting LAPD. She has been able to get introductions with the Los Angeles Police Department. They got her into the Office of the Inspector General. And now through the work with her and a few other people, they now have a detective who is heading up the investigations into the LAPD and into Scientology and what has been going on there. So please welcome my hero, Mona, otherwise known as Fat Grammy. How are we doing tonight, hon?
With your Mountain Dew bottles up. I don't have a hat to wear. Oh, I am so humbled and honored to be on the same screen with you guys. Oh my goodness.
It's our honor. You have been doing amazing work, and you've been making such headway in the fight against Scientology, especially with the LAPD, the corruption that's been going on there, the way that the protesters and the auditors have been treated out there, and the fact you got the ear of the OIG, and now we have a detective who's leading up a team that is actually investigating all of this. You've done so much, and we are so proud and honored to have you here as part of us.
Thank you. I'll take that. But it's definitely a team effort, and it's definitely from all the hard work from everybody ahead of me. That's for darn sure. So, Feral Cheryl, did you get my wheelchair?
I got it, girl. Now I got to get the wall.
Hey, wait a minute. I have to push that wheelchair around. What are you doing?
No, it's this big. It's for BT. I'm making body paint.
Fill out a KR on you.
I'm making a special body paint. No chaos. No chaos. Supreme ruler, you'll get some of this.
The supreme ruler. Now I get it. Okay, that's hilarious.
Supreme ruler. Look at it.
Who has
It's
the
a
slave
look at
sound?
it.
All right,
It's
that's
pretty.
better.
I'm going to put glitter on it.
Too funny, too funny. And I've been really, I want to read your book, Jamie, because I don't know if you know, but I happen to be a paraplegic from trauma, from physical trauma. And I'm wondering, would that work? Wondering.
We should talk. We should shoot, DM me, and then let me yeah. I'm still doing some research. I just hooked up with a doctor that's treating all sorts of the nervous system is central to a lot of autoimmune conditions.
Right.
So I've met this doctor that's innovating it to treat all sorts of things. So in terms of that are nervous system based, but it might just give you, it lessens kind of severe things. I will say that work you're doing is kind of amazing in terms of, it's very inspirational to me personally, because when I was a kid, not ever in school, not being educated, roaming the streets of Los Angeles on my own. I started taking the bus on my own, roaming LA from 7. Okay. Never in school, grew up in that environment, did not go to school. Okay. But every once in a while, just to show you how long this has been going on, the LAPD would kind of pull up, what are you doing on Hollywood Boulevard at 8 years old by yourself? Walking down the street at 8, or in Bronson Park, or all the different places they would stop us because we were on our own. And all you had to do, Mona, is say the word Scientology kid. And it was like having a force field around you. They would just get in their cars and leave. They wanted nothing to do with it. Yeah, they wanted nothing. They wanted nothing to do with it. Going back to the 80s, and so what is that? This is whatever that relationship it is, whatever the desire not to. I would feel that if I'm roaming the streets of LA and I'm not going to school by myself, maybe the LAPD should have an interest. It's been going on a long time, and what that results in, and it's so important for this conversation, because when you don't have an education and you come out of this thing at 19 years old, and I was semi-literate, where do you go? What do you do? If there's no SPTV Foundation that's going to help you go to, community college and start, or have a place to land, or have a place to fix your life, if I didn't have, there's so many people that come out of this thing that grow up in it, that they don't have a place to land. And the LAPD is part of it. And they've been a part of it for a long time. So anything that you're doing to expose that, I greatly admire.
Yeah.
It gives me more fire in my belly. Thank you.
You've been doing it a long time. I want to know about Chad. I see Chad everywhere. He's like Yoda over there. I don't know anything about him.
He's got his Satan dolls all surrounding him there.
I don't know anything about you, Chad. I just see you everywhere, kind of doing the machinations. Everyone talks about you. Were you involved in the group? Were you not? Yeah.
I'll try to make it brief, but I watched the first time I even heard the name Scientology. I watched the Leah the Aftermath show, and I obviously that was crazy. And then I somehow was watching Aaron. I watched Aaron for about a year, and he came up. He was doing reaction videos to someone named Tampa Brad, a Scientologist, and he had the challenge for someone to come up with not come up, but he came in the name to make a character called Clearwater Chad and mirror Brad's videos. So I did that, and it just evolved from there.
That's hilarious. I love it. Yeah. So just as somebody that, when I made that phone call, when I escaped and kind of landed in this hotel room in Clearwater, having to take 3 different cabs so I wouldn't be chased as a teenager. Okay. And I made that call for help to a relative. I didn't know if that relative was going to say, yeah, I'll help you. That's how desperate I was. And I was I could read at a high level because I've been studying that stuff but I didn't, I was totally semi-literate. I wrote at a kindergarten level. I did kindergarten math. And that's why the SPTV Foundation is so important is because we need a place for people, for people to call, so that so many people are locked in there because they didn't have that call that I could make.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, folks. And remember, if you're still interested in the SPTV sign and you want to donate, it's up to 200 now. Also, I had some folks had asked about something. I am going to offer this up as well. I'm going to do a special one-off of this. It'll be a 12-inch disc, but I will do a special laser cut and do it up of the challenge coin for AA Ron's Army. So if anybody is interested in that, start throwing out the offers on that. Just make sure you put it for the right one. But
hey,
we
John,
have.
can I jump in real quick? Cookie Crumbles had a question where to bid. You bid right here in the chat.
Yep.
And right now, Susie's the high bidder at $200.
Absolutely.
Back to you.
We have another special friend waiting in the background. Has been someone who has been a part of the SPTV community for some time now, and she got to go out and meet with her, actually do some auditing with her in Battle Creek. She has just been great. She has been on the job. She's been taking care of things out there for us. And a lot of people don't know it, but a couple from Detroit just donated $5.5 million to the Battle Creek mission there. We've got to step things up, and I plan on quite a few protests and audits out here in Michigan as well. But she's an OG doing it out there in Battle Creek. So please welcome our good friend, Bobby Joe Kellogg.
Bobby!
Bobby Joe,
I made
hello.
it. I made it. You figured it out.
I know. Becky will get you in here in just a moment, honey. So,
Our Michigan area is starting to overtake. Yeah.
Yes.
oh, that's interesting. We got what is it? 3 from Clearwater, 3 from Michigan in here right now. So Bobby Joe, why don't you tell us who Bobby Joe Kellogg is, how you got started in protesting Scientology?
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Absolutely love Bobby Joe Kellogg. Absolutely love.
Thank you. Thank you. I got interested in cults at 16 when Jonestown happened. And and I was a voracious reader as a kid. I bought a box of books at a yard sale, and what was in it but Dianetics. And I tried to read it. I was a college level reader, and that was garbage to me. It made no sense whatsoever. So
you and everybody else who reads it pretty much. So.
Right. Oh my God. And I asked my mom about it. She said, oh, some science fiction writer wrote it and wanted to make a religion. And that's how I kind of heard about it. And then as I got into reading books about cults, Scientology started getting more and more people speaking out, here and there. I would read odd stories. I lived in Florida too, so I knew Clearwater was taken over by it. And because I lived in Inglewood for 37 years, and I just have been so against it and the abuses, and every show that I watched, I just got more and more angry. And when this all happened, this protest thing, I said to my husband, I'm disabled, but I can do this. I have a voice. And I feel so passionate about it. I'm going to cry. It's awful. We've got to stop it.
It's amazing. It's incredible that this has gotten to the point that it is, and how many people have been harmed by Scientology and their practices and what they do. And what's truly amazing is how it has stayed under the radar for so long. And it is so great to see this community coming together and fighting Scientology. And it's also so important that we put our support in for the SPTV Foundation, because there are people that are going to be coming out and they're not going to know what to do. They're not going to know where to turn. Having the SPTV Foundation out there supporting these folks and giving them that chance is so important. And I'm just trying to, again, I am trying to mod and do things in the background while I'm at it. So please, bear with me. Sometimes I get pulled away by something else, but we have
John,
one more
John,
person.
are you taking bids on the The coin.
We're up to, I saw $25 on the coin so far.
All right, so you're keeping track, or should I keep track of that stuff?
If you could, I'd appreciate it. Yeah.
Well, you're already dressed as a reg. You may as well just reg.
I just gotta look this way and right.
So out of ethics. My goodness.
Do your job, or you're getting rice and beans tonight, young man.
I have no ethics.
Hey,
I'm
John, can I?
extremely unethical?
Yeah, go ahead, Jamie.
Can I ask you a quick question? Like, how many people on this call right now were never involved in the group? I'm just so curious.
I think pretty much all of us, except for you, are.
Well, I want to say
so.
so. I got really emotional listening to you, Bobby Joe, and I just want to say something to you. You know what I endured and had to live with. You know, man, it's quite something. And one of the things that's been really rough is that, you know, is that people let it happen, and it's never been in my entire life on this planet, having been born into this machine. You know, it's only been us trying to tell our story here and there. Now, all of a sudden, out of nowhere, in the last 6 to 8 months or whatever it's been, all these people that were never involved are standing up for us. And it's the only chance we have, you know, like it's unprecedented. You know, we kind of take it for granted because it's kind of just happening, but I don't take it for granted. It's really, really powerful for us that experience this to see you guys come in and stand up for us. Like I never in my life thought that I would see that day.
Can I make it comparable, please?
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people have different religious beliefs, have different beliefs in God or not God or atheistic or whatever. But there is a story in the Bible that always reminds me. It's the story of Elisha when he goes to battle, and him and another guy, and correct me, I can't remember everything right it's supposed to be. But Elisha and the other guy goes, "We're going to get smeared. We're going to get killed if we go into battle. Look at all the soldiers we got to fight against." And Elisha prayed and said, "God, open his eyes." And they opened their eyes, and all they saw was all the warrior angels fighting with them. And it gave them courage to go in. And that's what I feel like as a never in, is not an angel, but I feel like I'm part of your warrior team. We're standing with you, darling.
Wonderful way to put it.
Well, just the fact that you exist gives us, me personally, and I'm sure I could speak for the other kids that have, you know, went through this, just it creates relief just seeing you and experiencing you do what you do. You know, it feels like we're not alone for the first time ever. And someone believes us, because even the guys that went through it, that were the adults, there's something about it, does something to them, so that even when they come out, they're not empathetic towards us. So I feel like this thing that's happened in the last 7 months is the first time we've ever truly gotten empathy. Yeah. So, you know, thank you all so much for putting yourselves out there for us, because it's just never happened.
You know,
oh, and total
My
text,
pleasure.
Cheryl still hasn't paid them for the roof work. Cheryl.
Oh,
All right, we have somebody waiting in backstage right now. I hope you guys are ready. We're going to have to drag it out of her. She doesn't like to talk much, but we got somebody waiting backstage. She's so quiet, and she's almost a mousy. So let's go ahead and welcome. I call her the abuela of SPTV. Welcome our dear friend Pinche Becky.
Pinche Becky.
Becky. Hey, Becky. Wow, it's still daylight out there.
I'm so innocent. La abuela. You mean tía?
La tía. Se confundió.
Hermanita.
Yeah. I am more like a grandma.
Hola, senor. Buenos nachos.
Well,
nachos.
I was hearing you guys about trauma, and I decided to bring you guys out. I was gonna wait until I got home to kind of come in, but then I decided, let me show you guys what I do with my trauma. So when I don't know why I have a double echo. Hold on. You guys know me. I don't know. You thought I was gonna say the bad word, didn't you?
I
Hold on, give me
know you were
one
going to say the
second.
bad word.
This is what I do with my trauma. I come out here. You
Yeah.
see why I don't want to leave LA?
We have it in Clearwater too.
I do the same thing when
we
I'm
got
in
an ocean in
Clearwater. Almost
Florida.
half my streams at Coachman Park, just watching
And
dolphins.
we've got Great Lakes in Michigan. So,
Yes, we do.
Well, I have the beach. I come out here and I just kind of meditate. I work out here. I actually work one a day a week, but I actually work. So I just decided, you know what? Let me come out here, show you guys where I come to just unwind, kind of think it over, get my thoughts together, and then go back out there. You know, it's so sometimes it is triggering. You know, sometimes it is triggering. Sometimes it is. Um, it makes you think. It makes you rethink whether you want to go back out there or not. But then you hear the stories, and it's how can you not? You know, how can you not go back out there? How can you allow another person, elderly, child, whoever, go through the same stuff that you went through? You know, it's difficult. It's not for everybody. I know a lot of people say, well, if I was there, if I was there, if I was there. It's not for everybody. You know, I'm not saying that I'm special. I'm saying that sometimes you just have to have that little heart to heart with yourself and say, you know what? Fuck it. Let's do this. And, you know, I was listening to the trauma part. Yeah, it's very, I think we've all had trauma. And I think that's something that kind of groups us together is that we've all had that trauma. We've all had that injury. We've all had that need to have someone listen to you who, you know, when they try to shut down your voice, you guys already know that that's what triggers me. They
You
try
know,
to shut down
Becky,
my voice.
you're one of the people that I am most looking forward to meeting when we go out to LA. So you're the one. You're so dear to me. I reach out across this computer screen and give you the biggest hug.
Thank you, thank you. You know,
Yeah.
LA is pretty hectic right now. LA seems to be the hot spot for police abuse. I think, well, actually, anywhere around those buildings is a hot spot. Even today, people trying to text me when I'm live. How dare they? You know, even today, Scotty was out there just unboxing his stuff, and there you go. Once again, there goes the popos. Well, no, I don't call them popos because they're not LAPD, and they're out there again. They're out there again, pretending to be friendly, and then they take a cheap shot. You know, right now, at least my case is being worked on. Right now, at least I have a detective. I'm following up on it. I really think they picked the wrong one because first of all, look at all these people I have behind me. One, two, I don't stay down. You know, I might take a tumble, I might fall, I might be injured. I might have to go back and lick my wounds every once in a while, but I will get up. It doesn't matter how long it takes me. I will get up. And I think that's something that all of us have to remember that, you know, they can knock us down 101 times, but we will get up 102. You know, it doesn't matter.
And Jamie, are you familiar with Becky?
No, I'm hearing you for the first time. I'm fascinated.
Becky does something that is called harm reduction in LA there, and she became part of the SPTV family, showing up and cooking for all of not just the protesters, but anybody who was hungry. She was out there cooking for folks, making sure that they're fed. And she found out really quickly just how much Scientology does not like people helping the protesters, and she's went through absolute hell with the LAPD, where she literally had a man pleasure himself in front of her.
Wendell Tyrone Manning.
But as you see, she's very quiet, and she doesn't talk out very often. We love Becky to death. She is amazing. Sir Crepitus actually went with her to LAPD and helped to at least get her complaint made. Now we have Mona has been working with her, and there's a lot going on now. And so hopefully we're going to be able to have a great update on things and see that there's actual movement forward. But she, just came in as someone wanting to help everyone and started becoming a victim of Scientology and how it works.
And even if Scientologists would have come out there and asked for a plate of food, she would have given it to them.
Yeah, and that was the thing. Like I said, she wasn't doing it just for the protesters.
The night that they knocked over DOA's grill over, and then at the end of the night, you started making quesadillas, man. I thought that was awesome, dude.
Thank you. I'm a harm reduction specialist. Thank you. I'm a harm reduction specialist certified through the county of LA. So that allows me to go into encampments and provide life-saving materials for our people that are using drugs. And the number one reason people use drugs is because of trauma, is because of BS stuff, So I go into the encampments and they can tell you, they've seen some of the videos. Normally I don't record the encampments, but when I went to the LAPD commissioners meeting and I showed them my video, I showed Chief Choi my video, and I told them I'm a harm reduction specialist and you guys let me down. And I got a unhoused man that jumped up and said, wait, you're a harm reduction specialist. We need life-saving materials. LAPD knocked down our harm reduction tent, and now we don't have anything. They threw everything in the trash. So he pretty much, I put him in my car, and you should have seen my chat going wild. Wait, are you safe? Well, if I didn't feel safe, I wouldn't have put him in there. I went to his encampment. I put him in my car, threw him in my car. We went to his encampment, and then I provided harm reduction supplies, Narcan, testing strips, trank testing strips, you name it. I provide everything but the actual drug. I want to get them out of there. It's not that I'm enabling them. It's not that I'm promoting it. It's that, once again, we meet them where they're at. And it's kind of like the victims of Scientology. You have to meet them where they're at. If they're not ready to step foot out that door, that's fine. I'll come back, keep on cooking. I'll come back, keep on waiting until they're ready. And once they're ready, then we provide the help. Here in LA, I give out quite a bit of resources. That's what I do. I provide the resources. I don't remember who was talking about mental health and PTSD and the resources. Sorry, the sun is in my eye. I do that exact same thing here. Now, the only thing that makes me unique from most harm reduction people out here is that I'm independent. I'm not associated. Pearl Snappy. That's right, baby girl. Me and you. I got you, Pearl. Don't worry. Not selfless self. You see, you guys are gonna make me cry. I want to cry right now.
Selfless self is my dude, man. That's my blood brother from another mother. That guy out there, I just.
Jamie, one of the reasons why I was asking if you were familiar with Becky, she has been through quite a bit of trauma in her life as well.
Oh yeah.
And
I tell people I'm a walking trauma case, and I carry my cray in the inside. They just don't know it. I don't show it very often. I carry my fucking cray in the inside. I hold it in very well. I keep on walking until somebody does something stupid like Wendell Tyrone Manning, and then I have to let the cray out, you know. It's okay. It's okay to feel that trauma. It's okay to feel that pain. It's okay to say, you know, that's kind of fucked up what happened to me. But then just pick yourself up and keep on going. You know, you cannot stay in that mental state because then they win. You see, once you allow them to keep you down, then they win. I am not a victim. I am a survivor. I never say I'm a victim. I am a survivor. You cannot.
It really shocks me growing up near Oakland my whole life and what it was like near Oakland. And I even had some times in LA County when I was at my grandmother's house, and to see the changes that I've seen in California over the last 50 years is just blows me away, especially with LA, because that's my mother's homeland. When she was out there in the 50s compared to what it's like today, it's really sad to see what happened to the beautiful state.
Well,
really
right now, what happened with Wendell was that he was actually in jail, had just gotten released a couple of days ago, prior to what he did, prior to the incident. And they dropped the felony, and that allowed him to come out on time served. Just right now, here in Santa Monica, not too far from here, again, same thing. Guy was let out, and he stabbed 3 people just last weekend. I just happened not to be here, thank God. And it keeps happening again and again and again and again. So right now, California, I mean, I'm sorry to say, it's a shit show, and it's sad. It's really sad.
Nevertheless, I'm really looking forward to going there when we go out there, because I'm gonna have a big old bodyguard right in front of me the whole time.
But
whatever
you know,
happens, I got your back, John.
But the funny thing about it is that I can go into the encampment, the supposedly horrific, oh my God, and I can go into the encampment and feel safer than walking right here in Pacific Palisades. You see what I'm saying? So
we didn't have those tent cities when I was growing up. That came later on, and it really blew me away. But the way that gentrification has happened in the state of California, where the person who was born and raised there can't afford to live there anymore, now they live in a tent city that is its own community. And for the example that I use when I talk to people about California out here in Florida is when we used to go to Oakland A's games back in the day at the Oakland Coliseum, and we would take the BART train, the Bay Area Rapid Transit that goes through San Francisco. And we would take that train to the Oakland Coliseum, and we would walk across this bridge that would take us to the Coliseum. And underneath that bridge used to be railroad tracks and just regular industry, commercial industry. But nowadays, underneath that very same bridge is all tent city. And the people are thankful to actually live there, and it's horrible.
Well, that's how it was always in downtown. It was just a smaller section. But, you know, we're changing terminology because now homelessness has such a stigma. And you know what? Homelessness means crackheads, all this stereotypical thing. And it really isn't. That's why we call it unhoused, because right now our middle class, working class cannot afford to live here anymore. They cannot.
Yeah, white collar community is now tents.
They're gone.
If you're living in an RV, you're living in a high rise.
El Segundo was one of them. Inglewood right now, after the sulfide got built, I mean, right now they're starting to toss people out. And again, I keep saying this again and again and again. It's not about color. It's not about what color you are. It's about the ones that have money and the ones that don't. And right now, the middle class is quickly disappearing. The working class is quickly becoming unhoused. And it has nothing to do with drugs. It has
And the
nothing
richer
to do with
class
them.
is getting richer and richer and richer.
Oh yeah, well, because all these companies are coming in, buying the affordable houses, fixing them up, flipping them, and now what used to cost you 200,000, it's now easily 700,000, and that's no joke. 700,000 for a 2-3 bedroom house here in California.
That's if you want pavement in your garage. If you if you want pavement in your garage, it's another 100,000.
All right, and folks, if you have a question or comment, make sure that you're putting it in all caps, either question or comment, before you start it off there. And Jamie, Rodo had a question: would this treatment help someone who has developed schizophrenia after a traumatic brain injury?
It's such a great question, and I want to answer it, and then I want to comment on the work that Becky's doing because it's so important. There have been cases, again, I'm not a doctor. I work with a lot of doctors and psychologists and neuroscientists, psychiatrists. So I'm an artist, but I'm pretty good at interpreting stuff. And so, yeah, there have been cases where the doctor, where we're seeing people that are hearing voices, they get the shots and the voices go away. Yes. It's not so. One of the big things that happens when people get this thing is the nightmares go away, right? So hearing nightmares when you sleep and hearing voices when you're awake, those things aren't so far away. And what's so important about what Becky's talking about goes to probably one of the most powerful forms of indoctrination we get being raised in this thing. We are taught to believe, this is a powerful, powerful part of what we're taught from babies, okay, that isn't talked about enough. We are taught to believe that if you're an addict or if you're homeless, you are a degraded being. You're less than nothing. You're worth throwing away. You should be, you are less than a human. That's what we're taught to believe. If you're homeless, you're an addict. This is the indoctrination. This was one of the hardest things it was for me to shed. Yeah. And when I started to learning about the biological injury of trauma, what you're talking about is someone whose nervous system is stuck in fight or flight and stressed out. Well, what are you going to do? You're going to take a substance to just be able to exist with your nervous system. And Gabor Mate talks about that. One for one, every single person that Becky is helping is somebody that has experienced trauma, probably deep and heavy trauma as a child. These are all people just trying to do pain management. Yet this group that you're helping us fight is teaching the world and teaching its adherents that they're just pieces of shit. So it's just amazing, Becky, that you're out there seeing people as human beings, understanding that the only reason somebody ends up homeless or the only reason somebody ends up an addict is because they're trying to manage their pain. And people don't have that empathy, and so when I see somebody like you, it's so important, your message and what you're doing.
Well, thank you. That's kind of, that's my whole goal, is to humanize. That's why when you see my name, and I know I've said this prior, pinche, it means a lot of things. A lot of people think it's a bad word. Pinche, I was raised here in LA. It's Spanglish for pinched. Somebody pinched Becky and she gave 0 Fs. But most importantly, pinche means the lowest of the low in the kitchen. It does not mean that bad word that everybody thinks that it means. No, it means you're the lowest of the low, and it's a play on something that my mother and I used to joke around while we were in the kitchen. And so once again, where you want to throw away these people, you want to throw them away into, I can imagine that if they could, they would just put them all in an island and just see them float away. It's not going to happen. And it's not going to happen until trauma, mental health is actually provided. Not until someone steps in and says, you know what, that pain that you're feeling, that heart palpitation, that fear that you're feeling actually has something to do with this incident. And it's not until you get the mental health that you really start seeing an improvement. That's when I come in. Again, I'm going to meet them where they're at. If they are needing supplies to stay healthier and you know, forget the cooties, you know, they're passing around their, you know, their way of using, then I'm going to provide a safer measure. And that's exactly what I'm doing out here. And that's why I say I love being independent. I've had 5 jobs that I've turned down because I do not want to be tied down. I do not want to have to respond to an organization that tells me that I'm doing it wrong. If you're doing it wrong because you're only providing it to the people that are already there. How about providing it to the people that are right at the edge before they take that jump? You see, they're not preventing it. Right now, our unhoused has become a business. You know, millions and billions of dollars that are being thrown into the system. How about preventing it? How about those people that cannot afford to go out there and buy the chicken, and now you won't provide them with EBT because they are only above $5, where you claim should be whatever X, Y, and Z. And that's happened. That happened to me. They wouldn't give me EBT when my son was young, and I was an only parent, and my company moved away, and I had to choose between providing food or paying the electricity. You know, that was an offer to me. I finally, I mean, after 3 tries where I would walk away because I just couldn't do it. And the security guard saw me and he says, "What's going on?" I said, I can't. I just can't. He walked me to the front of the line. I went and applied, and then they told me that because I was on unemployment and they were paying me $5 more a week, $5 more a week, I didn't qualify for diddly squat. Right now, our elderly, let's talk about our elderly. Our elderly that have worked all these years, right now, my mother, who has worked 40, 50 years, paid her taxes, is a U.S. citizen. Her father was a bracero. He put down the railroads. And guess what? She doesn't qualify for Medi-Cal. And now we're having to sell her property to pay her inpatient, where she's at inpatient. Tell me how in the hell is that fair? So if she didn't have a family, she would be screwed. Tell me how that's fair. Tell me how that's helping your community. It sucks.
Absolutely. And Jamie, someone had a question for you. They wanted to know about, has there been any looking into the treatments for affecting stroke victims?
Wow. Gosh, that's one thing I don't know, but I'm going to go study it. I will say this: I just have been working with a doctor that is innovating with this treatment and treating all sorts of autonomic and immune diseases with it. So I'm spending a lot of time with him and learning more than I knew. So if you will DM me, I will call the doctor and have a very specific conversation. You know, I'd reached out to a woman in Canada who had an autoimmune disease, and now she's going to see this doctor who's specifically using this to treat. A lot of the times the precursor to autoimmune disease is PTSI.
Can I ask what the treatment is? Is it IVIG?
No, the treatment is a reset of the sympathetic nervous system.
Okay.
It basically resets your fight or flight system to the pre-trauma state biologically. That's what it does.
Shit, we would have to go back until I was 9 months. Can they go back that far?
Well, yeah, they can. So many of the mental health crisis that we're dealing with right now is biological. And like, you know, I should say this, you know, the person that was probably the most influential on me as a human being when I was growing up, because I didn't have a father, was a heroin addict. You know, my uncle. And it wasn't until I understood this PTSI that I understood that he was just trying to manage his pain. He was just trying to manage his pain. And then you make the problem worse because then you alter your brain and you create further biological problems depending on the substance you're taking to manage your pain. You create a problem to solve a problem. But I can't look at any homeless person or trauma victim, I never will again, without just seeing someone that is trying to survive childhood trauma, someone that no one cared about. And
what was the alternative to him using that? Let's think about it. What is the alternative for someone that is in so much pain that they can no longer take it? What's the alternative? It's either the substance or 6 feet under.
I agree.
Let's be real.
Yeah. And you gotta remember, Becky's going to come at you with, she's not going to put any kind of censorship on it. She's going to tell you the truth and the way it comes. Brittany Van Brackle stating, just wanted to say how much Jamie has helped me. His book is the first book I picked up in 3 years after unaliving attempts. Jamie is the definition of hope.
That's so kind. And, let me just say that, at the beginning of this process, again, I don't, I think it's very important. I'm not necessarily close friends with Aaron, Smith-Levin, but I really want to give him credit for taking the time to talk to me and get me to look at, being public in a different way. And, when I mentioned what I was doing, to give this guy credit, within, days of meeting me, he read the book, right? And the first thing out of his mouth when he called me to tell me he'd finished the book is, we should be, he was still at the aftermath at that point. He said the first thing out of his mouth is, we should be financing this for trauma victims.
Okay.
First
folks,
thing out of his mouth. Yeah.
Before we go too much further, we have an update from the man himself, Aaron Smith-Levin.
Nice.
$3,500 raised so far, folks. You got to remember, we're an hour and a half into this, and already $3,500 has been raised for the SPTV Foundation.
Yeah.
It must be all this good looking.
Yeah, for sure. But you know what? I think it's the fact that Sarasota Jerry will not shut up.
Yeah. So I just want,
Aaron.
Yeah.
Sorry, Aaron.
One thing, somebody left a message about BP. Anybody that has any questions that aren't getting answered here, if your question goes by, please DM me on Instagram. Sometimes it takes me some time, but these days I'm a little more freed up. Pardon?
What is your at Instagram? What is your
Jamie_mustard? JAMIE_mustard. And one of the reasons, Poe called me and asked me to be here. I thought I was going to be here with a bunch of X's, but I'm here with a bunch of supporters. And I said,
we're all just as screwed up.
I didn't hesitate. It's my Saturday night. I didn't hesitate. I said, absolutely. When do you need me and how long for? And one of the reasons that is because instantly, Aaron was like, we have to support this. We need to give these people this relief, right? So I just wanted to say that the SPTV Foundation has been, just like they're suicide, they're just like, that creates relief. There's, they dive in. They don't ask a lot of questions. You don't have to sign, an arbitration agreement or a waiver for the rest of you. They dive in and they help. Yeah. So that's why I'm here. Is this foundation was just instantly like, how do we support people? So I'm just here trying to return the favor.
And this is for Marilyn or for Aaron. Debbie Baker wants to know if she can donate over a Cash App or if she has to go just to the website to do so. And folks, let me tell you firsthand, Jamie and I can both vouch for this. When another organization started putting all these hurdles in Miriam Francis' way, she needed this treatment. She knew she needed it. She wanted it so badly, but they were putting hurdles in her way of her being able to get this treatment. Aaron stepped up before the SPTV Foundation was even finalized and said, we got you covered. No matter what, if it has to, we'll get you one way or another. We're getting that treatment for you. And Jamie, you can vouch for that. You were right there along with the whole way working with it.
Yeah. I mean, again, Aaron is smart. He understands data. He understands data science, right? So he, it's again it's just about making it so that people can move through the world easier. And then, I think that when you survive something so hard to survive, so many of the kids that I grew up with and are not around, hopefully it increases your empathy. If it doesn't kill you, it should turn you into somebody like we survive so that we can turn around and help those that aren't surviving as well, or to stand up for people. That's what you're doing, Becky. And so, yeah, I just can't tell you, just how profound the support from the SPTV Foundation and its board has been from the beginning, even before it existed. And yeah, it's moving to me. And all you, once again, all you guys, like, I thought I was going to be here with a bunch of exes, but all of you guys standing up for us. I tell you, for a lot of us, it's the first time in our lives seeing you guys stand up for us that we really, truly feel seen. People have denied that anything ever happened to us up until you came along, I feel. We've just been told to get over it. And so you guys
I think we've all been told that, though. It's not just you. I think every single person that is struggling with just making it through life has been told, get over it. Or the worst thing that you can tell me when I'm trying to reach out is, you're strong. You've got this. To me, that sounds like one big, I don't got time for you. And sometimes even the strongest ones do need to have someone to lean on, which, by the way, let me just add right now, and I know he doesn't want to be put on camera, so I won't. Let me just tell you, my husband has been the biggest supporter. He knows half of my craziness. He doesn't question it. Every now and then he will tell me, you know what, that's enough. Because I'm trying to get up at 3:00 in the morning and go find somebody out there. And he's, no, that's enough. And so he gives me enough motivation. He gives me all the support. Every time I cook out there, he's the one that throws everything in the car. He's the one that washes all the dishes. He's the one that cleans up the mess. And he's also the one that takes care of me when I'm just about on the floor. And again, he doesn't want to be put on camera, but I have to acknowledge that, I do have a very supportive husband. I have a very supportive son. And if it was not for them, I would not be able to do this.
That's good to have. The only person I have that supports me is that lovely lady in the top right corner. I love you.
I know. I talked to your wife, and she's so tired of this.
Cheryl has met her. Yes.
Andrew's lovely.
Jamie, if you haven't noticed, Court Orad says, got my SGB in March thanks to all the discussion and was so happy to contribute to Miriam's.
Excellent.
Yeah, and again, Becky, what you were saying, and also to Court's statement, again, it's the SPTV Foundation. It's not the SGB Foundation, but I'm appreciating the love for sure. Okay, because I believe in this treatment. I believe if you do it before you do anything, you'll get so much more progress, so much faster. But what the SPTV Foundation is doing is they're basically saying, it's okay to ask for help.
Yeah.
And you need help. So many of us, when we leave, they give us nothing. We've been deprived of our educations. But so without the SPTV Foundation, it's kind of like then the attitude becomes get over it. How do you get over not ever going to school? How do you get over being manipulated from being a baby? How do you get over just having so much trauma, like so much psychological pain and physical pain that it jacks your cortisol levels, destroys your immune system, and you get an autoimmune disease? You don't just get over damage like that. You need support to do it, and you guys.
And I think that's what brought a lot of us out. A lot of us, I saw Lara's story, and then it was Easter, and I was going home. I was just gonna go home after visiting mom, and I was listening to Eric. And I'm not gonna lie, I had my last $20 on me, and I told my husband, I'm driving. And once he knows that once I say I'm driving, he knows I'm going to get into some type of trouble. And so I started driving, and I went and drove out to Eric, and I gave it to him personally. You know, it's sad. It's very sad that your childhood was taken away from you. It's very sad that nobody would listen. But I want you to know that a lot of your supporters are out here because of your pain, because we understand it, because we want it to go away, because we want it to stop. You know, so I do want you to know that you are heard, you are seen, you are important, and we're going to continue this fight. Whether Wendell is out there or not, I don't give a fuck. Wendell can stay out there. I'm looking for his ass. Don't worry, I'm looking for his ass, and he's staying away from there. He knows what he's doing. He's not stupid, and he's not mentally ill. I'll tell you that much.
You know, so
we know that people riding in the car with you driving, Becky, suddenly become mentally ill. So that's a real problem.
Yeah, you know what's so incredible. You know what's so incredible. Like I just again, I don't know how much appreciation you guys receive. But you know what's so incredible is I get DMs every day since I've started talking from all over the world. And what's so shocking to me about who DMs me is that it's not people that were ever in, the Scientology. It's not those people. It's people that have been through some sort of traumatic experience in their life, and by watching SPTV, they get some sort of relief from, there's some sort of like, wow, if they can survive that, then I can survive my thing. Right. So I just get so many people that seem to get some form of traumatic relief. Becky can maybe explain this better than I can understand it, but I really do feel like SPTV gives people of every kind of trauma, because these are the people contacting me, some sort of relief by the vibration of the resonance with the trauma we've been through. So it's really not just Scientology kids that you're helping. You SPTV guys and you protesters are having such an effect on so many people beyond that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's really powerful.
And folks, we talk about this all the time with the protesters.
John.
What's that? Oh, okay.
Sorry. I have a theory about that because he asked.
Said hand up, John.
I have a theory about what Jamie just said. For how many years were you guys told not to talk about your pain? For how many years were you told that you should not talk about X, Y, and Z? So even though and again, this is a theory, this is my opinion, I've never been in, but I have dealt with narcissists. And let me tell you, what that Cult of Scientology sounds like is one huge fucking narcissistic mofo out there. And again, you are constantly being told, you know what, you shouldn't be talking about this, you shouldn't be reaching out to people. You see, we weren't told that. We were just told we were fucked up in the head. It's all in the head. But you guys were told you should not be reaching out. If you reach out, this, and this. That's my theory. I don't know. But you know what? Look, I carry your guys' bracelets. You guys are heard. And yes, reach out to SPTV and reach out to them. If you've already left Scientology, want to leave Scientology, want to get help, then reach out. There's people out there that are willing to help you.
Advertisement.
There you go.
Yeah,
folks, let me say something that a lot of people talk about the protesters and the auditors, and they question what's going on. How many times do we have to see on the live streams or in the edited videos where they show the protesters and the auditors show up? Suddenly, Scientology has a table out. They're out there trying to sell their books. They're trying to give away the free tests or whatever they're doing. They close all that up. They run inside. They lock the doors. They cover the windows up. All right. For those who say we are not doing anything, we're not making an actual impact, that's not true. Every time this happens, and I've said it before, one person who stops from going into Scientology and potentially becoming another victim of Scientology, that's a victory. And that's what we're fighting for here. We are fighting to save people from this cult that destroys people. It destroys families. It destroys lives. They take babies. Jamie can attest to that, being taken directly from the delivery ward straight into Scientology and put into their baby factory there, living a life of pure hell at the hands of these people that are they're using orders from a man who's basing everything on 1950s technology, and they're supposed to be saving the world. Well, the fact is that that's what we're doing, is we're trying to stop people from being part of that, being abused, being sucked up, being bled dry, and then being left with nothing to do. All right, folks. So that's why we're here. And the SPTV Foundation is here to help those coming out, give them a chance to get into life and join society and be able to stand on their own feet, be able to take care of their families, and be able to take care of themselves. Jamie is working so hard on bringing forth this treatment so that those that are coming out, they have a way to help relieve that trauma that's built up in them through these years of abuse that they're going through. We've got Mona over here who is out there busting her butt. She is tracking down so many things. She is making huge inroads in the fight against Scientology. We've got Bobby Joe Kellogg down in Battle Creek, out there by herself many times, protesting the Battle Creek mission that is there.
I try to be there with you, Bobby Joe.
Excuse me?
Your wife ain't letting you leave.
I try to be there with you.
I don't think Cheryl will let you leave the state without her. So don't you even try that stuff. So there we go. She got the ultimate.
Can I get a
ruler.
5? Can I get a high? Give me 5.
Listen, somebody put in the comments that they can't reach me on Instagram. If you can't reach me on Instagram, hit me up on X. I will start monitoring my X account more. Hit me up on X, and I will get back to you right away. But again, I want to say the SPTV Foundation is rooted in SPTV, and so many of the people. 99% of the hundreds of people that contact me are not people that were ever involved. There's something about the fascination with this particular group that allows people to interpret their own trauma. So that's, we can take something bad, the fact that it's weird Navy love boat cult and people are fascinated in it and they're processing their own trauma through the prism of our experience. You guys, by supporting SPTV and supporting the SPTV Foundation, you're not just supporting us. You're not just, as Poe said, keeping people from joining in. But these are profound things. I truly believe you're helping expand this network, which is helping hundreds of thousands of people. And as it expands, millions of people. Yes, Mona, I know you've been wanting to say something.
Well, I just wanted to give kudos to the SPTV Foundation, because in my old line of work, working with people as a third party, I would hire for oil, gas, and mining jobs. And I'd help people do their resumes, bring them over to the workforce development, over to the job centers, helping them employ. And that's one of the biggest things of people coming out of Scientology, I'm sure, especially the Sea Org, is not having a past, not having an education, not having previous job, not even knowing how to fill out a resume. And I saw that Nora was looking for somebody to volunteer for that position to help people. Kudos to the foundation for going a step further than not just bringing people out, but helping them get on their feet and begin a life. That's kudos for that.
And it's real easy to be humanitarian too. You just got to care about something. And it's not hard to be humanitarian. I've been working with cult groups for many years now, and before I came to SPTV, and I used to get asked why all the time, why? And it's like, A, human trafficking is a problem, and you should never support that. And the two is the people that are stuck inside these walls are good people. they're not necessarily bad people. You got to have a little bit of a heart for those people that are victims. That's why we're out here supporting such groups as like SPTV and human trafficking outfits that are, you just got to care. It's not hard to care that these people are victims. Have a heart for Xenu's sake, you know? So,
don't be bringing that name into this conversation.
What's so cool about what's being created here is that when you by supporting, the SPTV Foundation supports the SPTV, which keeps creating channels which expand, which is helping trauma victims so far out of this. And I think it's so true what you just said. What's your name with the SPTV hat? Because your thing went away. Dusty. It's just so true what you said. The people in there are amazing human beings. They're amazing people. They're good people. They're there for the right reasons. They're there because they want to help people.
A lot of these cults, it's good people and bad leadership. You can't blame the people on their bad leadership. And a lot of them were born and raised and indoctrinated into it their whole lives. You can't blame these people for following what they were raised to follow.
Yeah, and the SPTV Foundation, they're getting people jobs, they're getting people cars, they're helping them with their resume, they're getting them things that when you get out of there, you have nothing. And they're giving it's so much, it's more than the treatment. And like anything that you need, these guys are sitting there and giving you a lifeline, and so beyond just the mental health treatment, whether it's therapy or a biological treatment or just somebody that's there, or paying your rent or whatever they're doing.
It so could that you be don't a shoulder to cry on, somebody that's hungry, they need a meal, it could be anything simple to make this person's life turn around and change.
But then who do we
I'm so happy to be a part of this family.
Let me ask this question.
Sure.
Who are we allowed to be angry at with that Church of Scientology if everybody is a victim? You see what I'm saying?
Not everybody's a victim. Not everybody's a victim. That leadership is the problem. It's good people, bad leadership.
No, I mean, it's really true. Not everyone is a victim, and I don't want to again throw shade, but the reality is if I was coming out of this thing newly, 20 years ago or whatever, I don't want to go to people that were my former slave masters and ask them for help just because they're out now and have started a foundation. I don't want to go to them. They were people that we were afraid of, and quite honestly, when I look at them, they have the same tone, the same superiority, the same arrogance, listen to no one. The way that Aaron has been attacked and vilified in this really binary, disgusting way, that's pure what we've been taught. They're just using the techniques that they know. And so right now, if you want just pure help, you need this group. But what's particularly wicked is the people that you rely on in life, that you spent 30 years building relationships with, 20 years building relationships, your parents, your family, your friends, they're gone. So without this foundation, there's really, there's so many people that I know that have stayed because if they leave, there's just nowhere to go. So it's like, I might as well stay. It's a modern form of, in some cases, it's a modern form of slavery.
Okay, so now let me ask you this, because you guys know that I'm going to keep it 100. You already know that I got a big mouth and I'm blunt.
What?
So then let me ask this, because I know that this is a question that comes up again and again and again. So now the victims are the ones that are causing the pain. And so you see, that sometimes is difficult for people like me who do not know what the heck is going on in there, except from what you guys are telling me.
Can I answer that question very succinctly? The reality is that 95% of the people in there, maybe more, are people that are good people that have been victimized.
Okay.
5% are the leaders. The leaders have a very deranged idea that when they leave, that if they did really bad stuff in there, well, that was just some mob shit I did. That's not how the Constitution works. If you committed crimes while you were in there, you're a criminal. And they come out because they don't think well, I'm not doing that anymore. They don't take any true accountability necessarily for what they've done. For me, as somebody that survived this thing, the idea that there's a nonprofit out there, and whoever it is, or if there will be another nonprofit in the future that's made up of people that were in the leadership, that were in that 5% of abuser, I think personally to rise to the top, I mean, if you want to keep it super fucking real, I think to rise to the top of that group, okay, if you left that group a leader, somebody that's a criminal and a narcissist rises to the top of that group very fast. Doesn't mean all of them are. Doesn't mean that some of them that have come out haven't found redemption, because they have.
It's the power hungry that's going to prey on the gullible. And it's
exactly
that 5%.
100%. So it doesn't mean that's all of them. And everybody deserves redemption. Everyone deserves a second chance, but you have to ask for it. And you have to be trauma informed. And part of being trauma informed is understanding that maybe a victim that knew you as an executive in there, that was terrified of you, doesn't want to then go grovel to you for help. So if you want to help people, how can you set it up in a way so that we're not going to our former abusers for help? If you grew up on a plantation, which I did, and then one of the plantation owner has a good heart, am I going to feel safe going to that ex-plantation owner? No, I'm going to be really nervous about it. Some of them have redeemed themselves. Some of them haven't. But that's something, that's a, that 5%, help. If you're going to go put yourself around abuse victims, that's a very profound and particular type of accountability that you need to do to be a safe person. And I haven't seen any of them do it. Okay.
Wow, great point.
Yeah. So what we have, and again, because of the way it's set up, the SPTV Foundation is self-expanding. People just keep adding channels, right? And then these channels are supporting the foundation, and these channels are being watched by trauma victims of every kind you can imagine in the world. And by being around people that have been through deep trauma, whether it's your trauma or other people's trauma, or some different trauma, it's being around people that have been through a similar experience that gives us relief. That calms our nervous system. That gives us hope. So SPTV, and its network, which is supporting this foundation, is helping see people beyond Scientology in so many more ways, right? And I was so I just want to continue. I really want people to understand that by supporting the foundation, you're supporting giving people daily relief. Hundreds of thousands of people that are experiencing daily relief because they're able to see these videos with people that have been through something similar, and they're trying, and it calms them down. Like I'm a big fan of SPTV. I watch all you guys, and when I do, if I'm having a bad day and I go watch some SPTV, it's just like I'm not alone. I'm not alone in this world. And again, the majority of people that are taking that in, that you're helping, the majority of trauma survivors, Becky, that are taking that in are not ex-Scientologists. They're trauma survivors all over the world that are getting relief from the SPTV network.
And I'm sorry, I keep looking around because I feel very exposed out here. And again, that's part of the trauma. You're constantly watching your back. You hear someone yelling over to this side and you're like, what's happening? I listened to everything that you were saying. And again, I'm asking these questions, not necessarily for me, but because these are questions that have come up. And I'm glad you're able to answer them so openly. It's something that we do need to be informed about. It's something that the ones that have never been in, we see this stuff, we're like, wait a minute. How is it that wait a minute. And all of a sudden, just like this, poof, you were going to be this very special person And we all know that you're a piece of crap because you keep doing what you did in there, but only now you claim that you're out here. So you see what I'm trying to get at?
99, 100%, 99% of the people coming out, going to the SPTV Foundation for help are worker bees. And the reason they were gotten to the cult, or there's one of two reasons they're part of it. A, they were born in it and it's all they ever knew, like me. Okay. And I had to get to the point where I thought I was going to die to escape. Okay. Or secondarily, they're really good people that were manipulated by the false ideals of the group. Right. Eventually, this group says that they want a society without criminality, without insanity, and without war. In some order, maybe I got it mixed up. And eventually I had to come to the point where you're not going to achieve those ideals. Who doesn't want a world without criminality, insanity, and war? But what I had to realize is you're never going to achieve those ideals by being criminal, being insane, and warring on people and warring on your adherents and your believers, right? So 99% of the people that are coming out of there are people that were manipulated, either because they were born in it or they were manipulated because they're really, really, really good people. And someone comes along and says, we can make the world not have war. We can make the world sane. We can make the world not be criminal. Okay, so they're like, yeah, I want that. And and then they get behind that and they run into that. So the people that you're supporting, just to answer your question very directly, Becky, and you ask me and push back if you feel like I'm not being open enough. Is the majority of the people you're helping are exceptional people. They're special people because they were manipulated through goodness. Right?
A lot of those people, when they leave, also feel like you just said that you feel like you had to die to get out. A lot of those people, when they leave, they think leaving is going to kill them too.
Yeah, I mean, it's true. They tell us that. They tell us if you leave, you're going to be, digging ditches. You're going to be, they love work. They always working at McDonald's is one they often use.
It's going to be horrible if you leave.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, hold on. McDonald's here in California is paying $20 an hour. I sure think that's a hell of a lot more than what they're getting paid in there. What, $47 a week?
It's a really good point. It's a really good point. They love to put down McDonald's, but
my son works at McDonald's,
and they still can't get my order right.
And now he's a federal officer. So
my family members were all Scientologists. They were good people. They're all dropped their bodies now from cancer because they never went to a doctor. And my dad just passed away because he was 96. He was just really old. But they were all really good people. Really good people. Extremely narcissistic, very selfish. I myself have been homeless in the past 15 years, couch surfing. Not once could I ask any of my family to help me because I knew they would say no. So,
and I believe it, even though I never community. They're preying on all of our communities. They're preying
especially on the Latin community. Especialmente los Latinos. They're really going hard in the Latin community because the Latin community are so conservative and they want that kind of life. They really like the sound of the things that they're drawing them in with.
Well, they almost got my cousin. They almost got my cousin in there, and she was with the whole. This was back in the 80s. Dianetics. We're gonna help you. We're gonna help you. We're gonna help your self-esteem. Come. And she was working with the producer out here, and his daughter was in Scientology, and gave her the book. And now all of a sudden, all we heard was Scientology, until my mother told her, either you cut it off or you're out of here. And so luckily now, she was just here last week, and I explained to her what Scientology was. It blew her mind. She's all like, wait a minute, that's not what I thought I was getting myself into.
Well, I think it's really important what both Becky and Sister Farrell just said. Like, if you look at who was going into the test center on Hollywood Boulevard, it's Latinos.
I know.
If you look at who's on staff doing all the grunt work, it's going into the Sea Org doing a lot of the grunt work. It's Latinos. right?
Why do you think I'm out here? That's one of the many reasons. Because they are targeting my people. Look at what happened just, what was it, a week ago? I can't even keep track anymore. Things are happening so fast. Where the Salvadorian consulate guaranteed me that I could be in there. Everybody in there, except you guys saw the video. I don't know if you have, but many of you have saw the video. You guys saw the video. And
Yeah.
what did they do? They cornered her. They cornered her until she trespassed me because they couldn't trespass me.
You know
If
what that
you
consulate
couldn't
should have did?
trespass.
That consulate should have packed up right then and there and left.
I was willing to, you know what? I was willing to take that arrest if she would back me up. But the minute that she handed me on a silver platter to LAPD and Scientology, then I said, you know what? I'm not taking this arrest for your ass. And what I did now is I went and ahead and I finally called them. I waited for everybody to settle down. I finally called them. And then they told me, you know what? We will go ahead and take down your comment. No, this isn't a comment. I'm asking you to take action. I expect for you to take action. I demand for you to take action. And that's exactly what we have to do, whether you're Latino, whether you're Black. I don't give. Right now, they're targeting everybody, but yes, especially our Latino community. I'm not just speaking out for my Latino community. I'm speaking out for every person that thinks that they're going to get help through this organization, the Cult of Scientology. And then they end up being a victim. Nah, fuck you guys. Fuck you guys, Scientology. I'm going to tell you straight up. Fuck you guys.
I learned how to say it's a cult in Mandarin just for the Taiwanese people going in, just so I could add a little flair.
Una secta en español.
In Espanol. Well, you know, in Spanish, I hit them up in Spanish because I'm bilingual. So, yeah.
Well, you know what?
We had
Bilingual.
mariachi go into flag last week. I yelled at every single one of them.
Well,
I'm actually amazed on how many people that are
bilingual.
going in and out of the Fort Harrison that don't speak a word of English. It's like they were targeted. And a lot of those people, you know, their visas and their passports are under lock and key in a safe somewhere. They're like stuck there at that point.
They're targeting.
I explained that to the Salvadorian consulate. I explained that to her, that's she guaranteed me that they were not going to recruit. And then the minute I stepped out, we stepped out with Danny because he had to go do something. What do? They bring out the books. What do? They go in there and they just bullshitted her, frightened her to death. There's a picture in there. Look at my community page. There's a picture of her.
Danny and Leah were all over that table. So right away saying they're not supposed to be advertising their cult at all.
Yeah, I want to comment.
They had the little flyers.
I want to comment on what Dusty and Becky are saying, and also the question that Sir Crippet has put in the chat, like what this journalist, Aaron did a live where this journalist was saying, you know, people know the door, they can walk out. Absolute bullshit.
Yeah.
You can't walk out if you have no money, you're no poor, no one to call, you're going to lose all your friends, you're going to lose all your family, and then you have to undergo months and months and months of brutal interrogations, often doing physical hard labor to leave. So this idea that you just walk out the door, it's bullshit. You try to imagine the entire network you've built up through your life, all your friends,
especially
all
in
your
Clearwater.
family.
One of the things that I do when I'm in Clearwater is I point out all the cameras. If you were to try to run away from the flag base, they would be able to watch you for a minimum of 5 blocks.
Yeah, it's all this idea that you just walk out is bullshit.
Well, let me tell you where that idea came from.
Yeah.
That idea came from a former Scientologist that said, and I'm not going to throw anybody under the bus here, but that was the idea that was thrown out there. It's not something that we came up with. We thought that they would. It was thrown out by a former Scientologist.
Listen, people can say whatever they want to say.
It was the same thing with the Mormons too. If you want to leave, you may. There's the door, there's the window, but you got to get over that wall, make it across town, get to the highway and hitchhike. If you think you're really going to get away, chances are not.
And just to remind, just to comment on I'll bring it all together. When the SPTV Foundation came out and it was called the SPTV Foundation, I was like, gosh, I don't know how I feel about that name. But, you know, really what it is it's the foundation of SPTV. It is the foundation. It is this solid thing that we are putting energy into, that is supporting all of this greater work to help ex-Scientologists and other trauma victims experience relief. It is a foundation. And so, you know, again, I don't step out and do things like this, you know, where I'm asking for help. It's just not something. I was programmed my whole life not to ask for help. Okay. But having survived this, I would just, for those people that are watching, that are thinking of donating, you know, I just want to say, you know, just straight up say, you know, we're asking for your help. Help us. Because that help is going to have reverberating effects far beyond just helping ex-Scientologists. You're helping trauma victims all over the world. And the SPTV Foundation is the foundation of SPTV.
You know, Jamie, a lot of people ask, you know, what can I do? If you can't stand out there and protest, not all people can do that. And a lot of people say, why doesn't the Church of Scientology change? Well, they can't change. They're bound by the words of L. Ron Hubbard. But you can help by supporting people that are leaving, and we can help by making sure that people don't get in. The protesters standing out there, making sure that somebody else isn't suckered into this, you know. But to see people like you that come out of this, what, you know, they call a prison of belief, it's tremendously gratifying to people to hear your story, and I hope you keep telling it.
Well, you know, just to respond to that, Jerry, so many people say to me, one of the hardest thing that I deal with is so many people say to me, why, like, I was born into this thing and into this, taken from my parents. Not that I never saw them, but I really feel, because of the indoctrination, that it's my fault. And whether you're born in it, or you go in there at 5, or you go in there at 10, or you go in there at 16 or 20 or 30, they teach you that it is your fault. Okay. So that makes it harder to ask for help. It makes it harder to get help. And so we need a lifeline. And so if you can't, so whoever's, supporting this lifetime right now, that's sending $5, $1, whatever you guys are sending, $100, $200, whatever you're sending, even to this day, I have to fight the feeling that, I came out to a friend, told a friend of mine, a business colleague recently that I've known for a long time. And the first thing he said to me was, why are you blaming yourself for something that you had no decision in? Because that's how powerful the indoctrination is.
And we saw it with Laura. We saw it with Laura when Laura went out there. I think it was when she gave that very powerful speech to Otto. And, we were just doing we were just out there cooking. And now this is all DOA. And I go out there to support. And she said, I feel like I'm taking away from someone. No, you're not. And again, these questions are not to attack people. These questions are because these are the questions that we have, or that I hear.
They're important. The tough questions are the important questions. We need to ask the tough questions so that we can reveal what's true. Okay? So the tougher the question, the better. There are people out there that don't want to answer specific tough questions.
And that's fine.
SPTV welcomes the most specific and toughest questions there are. And there's a great question in the chat right now about what are Scientologists taught about the outside world? Well, we're taught that everyone in the outside world is a wog, which in England is like saying the N-word. It's a bad word for Asian people. So we're taught that everyone out in the outside world is degraded and is doing things that don't matter, or doing evil things, are not are part of the decline of the universe. Part of the decline of this sector of the galaxy. That's what we're taught. And that's why we don't seek help, is because we're taught that everyone that could help us on the outside is bad. right? So if you don't have this group, like Aaron said something really profound a few months ago, where he was saying one of the reasons why he wanted all of these channels, which is providing the engine for the foundation, is because if you see somebody you recognize, you'll go to them for help if you knew them on the inside.
Well, it's kind of what we talk about in harm reduction. You meet them. So if you're out there and you're constantly trying to get someone off substance, and you're constantly telling them you're worthless, you're a piece of shit, you're not worthy, you're this, you're this, you're this, you're this, you're this. That's all they're gonna hear. Do you really think those people are gonna come to you and ask you for help when they're ready for help? No. That's why we meet them where they're at. That's why we go in there and we continue and we continue. What do you need? What do you need? What do you need? Until finally they say, I need the help. And then we grab them.
Yeah.
And
So
we
what exactly. So what the SPTV Foundation, in terms of what you just said, Becky, meeting people where they're at, by having this ever expanding network, it's almost impossible to come out and not see someone you know. Because you see someone you know, you can break this prison of belief. You can ask that person for help because you know them, and that's
going to happen more and more as time goes. Also,
exactly. That's what the foundation can do. That's what SPTV can do by supporting SPTV, and the foundation can do that nothing else can do. Is you're helping people break the prison of belief. So profound.
And you know what? Got a question, Bobby Joe.
Yes.
You were telling me that there was just recently a donation of $5.5 million to the Battle Creek mission there from a couple.
Actually, it was actually to the Ideal Org program.
That's the Ideal. Okay. Well, the question, what I'm wondering is, are you seeing an uptick in traffic going in or anything going on there?
No, the same cars that's always there. They obviously don't have cameras in the front of that place because we can get there and we can be there for sometimes 15 minutes before they'll come and shut the blinds. So I don't think they have any cameras out there, but no, that it is so dead there. But I'm talking to a lot of the public, which makes me happy because I'm educating people. There's people that walk by that have no idea what that place is. And there's a school.
Sorry, let me ask a question. Let me ask a question because my husband is ready to go.
Okay, Becky.
For those of you that were in there, what is it that finally said, you know what, I can reach out to these people. I know I'm going to get the help. How exactly can they come out then? How is it that we can make an impact to make it easier on them to come out? That's what I want to know.
Well, I'm going to answer that question, but I want to, because it's on the in-person, I'm going to answer that question because it's kind of what we're talking about. And it's what this whole fundraiser, thank you, John Poe, thank you, Clearwater Chad. It's what all of you guys, it's what this thing is all about. First of all, when I hear that 5.5 million number, what I'm hoping is at some point we're seeing 5.5 million going to the SPTV Foundation so that, you know, we can help so many more people and expand it and give college grants and everything that that is imaginable that one could do to help somebody restart their life. But, you know, I'll just give you my personal story in terms of me coming out. Okay. And why I think Aaron's right when he's like talking about this familiar face and this just massive network of channels. I didn't know Aaron, but I did know his wife. I knew Heather Smith-Levin. I wasn't comfortable reaching out to Aaron. So I reached out to his wife who I knew, and I said, hey, can you put me in touch with Aaron? Because that was what was safe for me. Okay. And so we need people, we need to have, and again, we need to have all these familiar faces so that like me, there's someone familiar. You go, oh, I know them. And I know they were a good person in. So if they're out now, I spent years working alongside this person. I trust them, or I had conversations with them. I trust their heart. So that's what you're supporting, is you're supporting this foundation that, you know, what's so incredible about it is just the synergy that goes back and forth between SPTV and the foundation. Foundation drives energy. The SPTV drives all these people, energy and supporters into the foundation. And then the foundation is also helping expand out the network. And I think Circripidus was going to say something, but that's my take on it, is we need familiar faces to ask for help. If we're going to break, because the prison of belief is so powerful, it's more real than this table in front of me.
Circripidus?
All right. I didn't want to interrupt anybody, so I apologize. And
you're loud.
Am I loud? I'm sorry. Is it better? I have my mic up too high. But anyways, yeah, Jamie made some really great points in promoting the SPTV Foundation. But for the never ends out there, if you could just take a moment to reflect. I've done this before, and this is what really kind of sparked me to start donating on a regular basis and try to help out. But just imagine if you're a Scientologist and you're stuck. You feel hopeless. You feel like there's no way out. And even if you could walk out that door, even if you could, what would you do then? How would you start your new life? How would you find a way to stay away from, the Sea Org folks that want to try to come recover you?
That's real close to a question I had, Bill, and I brought it up with my lawyer friend Zach. I brought it up with John a couple different times.
Yeah,
and I brought it up with a few other people, and it was basically, as a streamer, if we're out in front of a Scientology facility and somebody came up to us looking for help, what would we do? What would be the actual steps to do that?
Take him to my
every
I was
person had
trying to make a
different
general
answer.
statement, but it wasn't an actual question. But that's okay. Go ahead.
Everybody has a different idea what to do if somebody was to approach them, and I was hoping that somebody in the foundation and Zach actually moved forward with this and bringing it up to the foundation to give out some kind of leaflets to all us streamers to have in our pocket. That is basically a protocol, what to do if somebody comes out looking for help. One of them is, don't take them to your house. Don't just pack them up in a car and drive away. You're going to be held liable for such if you do. You want to get it on. One thing Zach was saying is you want to try to keep them live or recorded as long as you can, getting their permission, saying, yes, they need help. You need the words to come out of their mouths. And then from there, what do we do?
Yeah. So thank you. But what the point I was trying to make for the never ends out there that are thinking about donating is you need to try to put yourself as best as you can into a Scientologist's shoes. Okay, they are terrified. They feel like they have nowhere to go, even if they walk out that door. That's why the SPTV Foundation is so important, because, again, like Jamie said over and over again, the SPTV Foundation is there to help these people start a new life, and it's so important. And sometimes people don't realize just how important that is until you actually take a quiet moment or two or three and really reflect, put yourself in their shoes, and maybe start to get a little bit of an idea of how hopeless that the Scientologists must feel. So that's basically the point I wanted to make.
Absolutely. And like we said earlier, when they leave their quote unquote religion, no matter which religion it is, they feel like they're losing their lives.
Yeah, and again, like, it's really real. Like, anybody that's listening right now that's thinking about donating, and again, I don't normally hawk for donations because I grew up in an organization that hawked for donations. So it's very uncomfortable for me, incredibly uncomfortable. But, when I first kind of came out, or right before I came out, I had a conversation with Aaron, and he was still at the First Foundation. And I told him about the genius Daniel Mustard, the formerly homeless genius Daniel Mustard, and that he was struggling. And within a day or two, they gave him resources. They were they paid his utilities. They were about to turn his utilities off. They got him food. They were buying him. They were just getting him the basic things that would keep him from just being that would just allow him to not have to be in anxiety and worry all the time. So even if you're given $20, $100, $1,000, $500 for everyone that's given so far today, that's what you're creating. You're creating space so that people can then improve their own lives. And you're creating the room for people to do that. So I'm doing something that I can't stand doing. I'm asking you for your help, even if it's $1, 50 cents, whatever you can give. I hate doing it because I grew up in an organization where they just rapaciously take your money. But when Daniel called me and told me that Aaron was helping him, within 2 days of me telling him about the problem, like the joy, the relief, the excitement, just from something so simple, not a lot. It was powerful for me. It's one of the things that was before I came out. I was like, wow, man, these guys are helping my brother, and it's affecting him emotionally. And he has never had anyone helping him. He has and so that's why I'm here.
Well, let me just add to that really quick. The very minimum that a human being needs to just live is water, air, food, shelter. Everything else is a bonus. But just to make it in life, just to survive, you need those 4 things. And this is what SPTV Foundation is going to provide to those survivors that are coming out. So if you guys are hesitant about putting your money in somewhere, I mean, come on, you guys are looking at it. That's all they need really to survive is food, water, air, shelter.
Yeah, and it is so important. Like that, I think if Danny had been asked to sign some very complicated agreement to take that money, the help just came. If he had been asked to sign some super complicated agreement where he has to watch what he says and who he says what about, and all very similar to the agreements we sign when we're in that organization, we can't ever talk about it. We give away our right to free speech. We give our right. It takes a human right away to, I don't think he would have signed it, and I think he would have just continued to suffer. So it's really important that we have a group out here that's willing to just give the help that is needed. And again, you're helping something bigger. You're helping all these people trapped in this prison of belief, but you're also helping. Yeah.
And that gets back to the powerful preying on the gullible. What kind of religion has a contract involved? That should be a major red flag in the first place. But since they were indoctrinated into that, they don't know. They think that's the way life is.
Okay.
Well, it's not. Let me just tell you, it's not. That is not, we're not, all of us out here are not evil. All of us out here are not just looking out to screw you guys. All of us out here are not that way. Yes, there are some that, but then again, there's some of them inside, let's be real, that are causing all this pain. So I just wanted to make it very well known that you guys, once again, you guys are loved. You guys are supported. You guys are heard. You guys are wanted.
Well, somebody's saying in the chat that Becky and I are talking too much, and everybody else needs to talk more. So I would curious.
Well,
if there's
Becky's leaving anyway. So.
but I'm I'm encouraging I'm interested in why everyone's here, and I'm again, I'm here. I'm just trying to help. If I'm talking too much, I'll shut up.
Jamie, do you know how many times I hear that my voice is annoying?
Becky, before you go now, if you guys could notice, I'm wearing my famous SPTV Never In shirt that's been signed by almost everybody. And this is the first time I put it on. So this is a special occasion, this shirt and this spot right here. That's saved for John Poe right there. But when I meet you guys, I'll have this shirt with me, and I'm going to ask you to sign it. And if you look at some of these names, I got Farrell, Cheryl, and Liz Gale, and Aaron, and Jenna Miscavige. There's a lot of names on this shirt. Natalie Webster, and
who the hell's telling Jamie to not speak? Just who is it?
Who's that?
Never mind.
Anyway, so be prepared. I'll have that shirt with me, Becky, when I meet you guys. And
Oh,
Bobby
you're so
Joe,
sweet.
if I make it up there, which is actually a strong possibility, I'll have it with me too.
Really?
And Mona, if I ever get a chance to meet you, absolutely.
Dusty, we can't see your face.
No,
That's
you
'cause I'm showing
disappeared,
my
Dusty.
shirt.
We are
I'm
coming
Your
up
showing
face
my
is gone.
shirt.
Oh, there
coming
you
up
are.
on 10:30
Cheryl
now.
already signed it, so she don't care.
All right, folks, let's calm it down
Sharon's
a
on
second
here
here.
too.
We're coming up on 10:30 now, which means we got 30 minutes to go out before we head out, and Marilyn comes in with all of her guests. So what I wanted to do is I want to go around and let everybody say something real quick here. Well, we got 30 minutes to do it. Let's start off with Bobby Joe, and then we'll go to Mona from there.
All right. I mean, what do you, in general, would you like me to say?
Well, just basically, your thoughts, feelings about, SPTV Foundation, about, the
yes.
fight against Scientology.
Yes. I do have something to say about the foundations. I was one of those real slow learners that still was really in their corner because they did do some good work at one time and I had given money. But the thing with Miriam and then just the things with having Stephanie Hutchinson on the board and her running her mouth, to me, all of that really started, and then calling us cult members. I feel very strongly that, some people, maybe older people that leave Scientology, this has always been a thought of mine, might feel more comfortable with Mike Rinder and Claire and Mark and those people, Amy, because those will be familiar faces like Dusty or Jamie was saying, those are familiar faces to them, maybe that generation. But the new kids that might want to leave, if they are second gens that want to leave, they're going to come to faces that they recognize. I agree with you, Jamie, very much in that. These, and even us protesters, people that might be watching us in the area, the general area, under the radar, want to leave Scientology. They might think of us as a familiar face. And can you help us? That's why I think what Dusty said, was it you that said the flyers?
Oh yeah, from little pocket notes that
Yeah,
so you
just
could have
something
step
that
by step
could get them on,
protocol.
an idea that they can leave, because we are familiar to people now too. Being on YouTube. Right, Cheryl?
Yes, amen, sister.
So Mona, let's hear from you now. What are you thinking?
Well, a little more of the same. And Jamie, I know you and Feral Cheryl are the two that are here that are kind of representative people that have been in. And boy, all of my respect to you. I sent you an IG DM if you'll accept my invite. I would be so thrilled to talk with you personally and get more information from you about the whole ordeal. But as a person with a disability, I think it's amazing how many of us never-ins are people with disabilities. And I think it's because we understand and we can empathize and we can relate not only to the trauma, but to the aloneness and the loneliness of not having a support group or people that can help or people that understand.
Wow.
And I'm finding a huge correlation between the two communities. And I would be thrilled to continue to work with both communities. And, maybe I'm not a never in, or I'm not a ex-Sciento, but my heart is right there with you. And from the get-go, listening to Lara and Serge and Liz and Oh No Nora, and then meeting Eric and you now. I mean, there's just so many people that have touched my life that the SPTV needs to be there to help them get out of where they're at, build a new life. Even if it's just handing them food or money to get an apartment or the know-how to get a resume going so they can get a job so they can support themselves. Something to alleviate the fear of change, because change is the big thing. Nobody wants to change if they don't have to, but if they do, fear is huge in change. So having SPTV to call back on is huge. So whatever we can do, whether it's $1, $5, $500, would be amazing.
Absolutely. Thank you. Sarasota Jerry, what you got to say, brother? You got to unmute. There you go.
I'd just like to tell everybody out there that everybody has a role to play. And if you don't have any money and can't donate anything, that's fine. You know, you're here to support us. Whether you go out and protest or not, that's fine. Everybody has a role to play. Jamie has a story to tell. Beryl Cheryl has a story to tell about how Scientology has destroyed their lives. And I think it's just all important, even if you're just in the chat, supporting people, keep viewing, educating people. When I had a friend ask me, you know, why do you keep posting? Why don't you just let the Scientologists practice their religion? And I told this friend of mine, I said, I don't care if somebody wants to worship the kitchen sink, but they're a human trafficking organization. They've abused children. They hold people against their will. They've ruined people's minds, caused trauma in people's lives. And that's why I care. I don't want to see somebody else go through what Jamie has gone through or what Cheryl has gone through with her family. And I want to be here for you. And I just like to thank John and Chad for this. And Chad, when I hop off here, I've got to be up at 5 in the morning. I'll try to hop on for a couple of minutes and say hi.
Okay, great, Jerry.
And Jerry, you know, everybody, I know I take the piss out of Jerry quite often, but we love Sarasota Jerry. He's fantastic guy. Well, you know, everybody who's here, how can you not love them? You know, you got Bobby Joe out there working her butt off in Battle Creek. You got Mona, she's doing unbelievable things. Sarasota Jerry, Dusty, everybody here, nobody's making money off this, folks. This is because we do it because it's a passion. And we want to thank each and every one of you for being here. If you can't donate, that's fine. We understand. Not everybody's in a position where they can do that. You being here, being part of this, joining in the chat, sharing the links to this, hitting the like button, subscribing to the channels, you are helping. If you don't have the ability to donate, that's fine. We understand. So don't feel like you can't contribute if you can't donate. So Dusty, what do you got to say?
It's a real pleasure being part of this family, the SPTV community. When I started with it was really small. It wasn't even called the SPTV at that time. And when I started streaming back in whenever it was, January, I was like one of maybe 30 people. There wasn't very many of us, and we have topped over 200 people in the matter of just a few months. And it's growing, and it's growing rapidly. And it's real pleasure and an honor to be part of it. A lot of us, like you said, we do it on our own dime. I put a lot of time and money into this just because it's for my community, and I love my community. And it's real shame that we got this big skyscraper of hell in the middle of our community that's just casting shadow on the community itself, and it's a shame. So I love, it's an honor to me to be able to actually even be out there, and I really promote people coming and join us. The more the merrier. Start up that YouTube channel, get on out there, get that gimbal, hold your phone like this if you have to. Just get out there. You don't have to be hollering. You don't have to be screaming. You don't have to be in the face of the traffic. Just be in there with a simple shirt, and you got the general public's attention. So I appreciate everybody that's in this community. I gotten friends that I've never had before, like a chief of police, got to point the other way, a former sheriff, another former sheriff here, and my best friend in my new world, Feral Cheryl. I love these people dearly. And, somebody that used to follow the Grateful Dead to have cops as a friend is unheard of where I grew up in San Francisco. So I really appreciate that. I wear that like a badge of honor. I'm friends with the chief of police. So this community has really accepted me. And all I could say is thank you guys so much for allowing me to be a part of this family. And I actually consider you guys as family. I love you all very much. Your safety is very concerning to me. And I wish everybody the best, nothing but love. And please donate today. Don't delay, donate today. Anyway, so thank you guys for allowing me to be a part of it. And it's true blue. This is not my first time around this block with I did a lot of work with the FLDS out there in Short Creek, but for me, I still do a lot of work for that, but that's 2,500 miles away when Scientology is only about a 10-minute drive for me. And it's right there, big and bold, and how they're really killing this community. And it's not the good people. It's not that 95%. It's that 5% of that leadership that is bad. And they can care less about the community or the people that they're following. Parishioners. Did I say that right? They're parishioners. And they don't really care about anybody but themselves and the golden dollar. So thank you so much. And Jamie, it was a real pleasure meeting you. Mona, thank you for everything that you do. Becky, it's a real thrill, and I'm really looking forward to meeting you and Bobby
Just
Joe.
keep on walking. He's okay. Just keep on
Right
walking.
behind you when you're out there at that org. And
Thank
the
you.
word is that they gave, what was it, 1.5 million to that. You got to remember that Scientology math too. It's probably no more than 150,000. So
right back at you, Dusty. We should connect
John,
sometime. You too,
thank
Mona.
you. Jamie, thank you. Chad, thank you so much. And Cheryl, big hearts. And Secrepidus, you're my biggest freaking supporter. Thank you. And Jerry, I love you dearly. So you guys have a good night. And I wish to be back on later on too when it gets slow and in the middle of the night. My whole night's slated for this.
Well,
thank you guys.
Talk to Chad about that. And I'm sure that he'd like to have some company during the night. Okay, Becky, you have 32 seconds.
All I want to say is this, because I keep seeing the comments about I don't have money. Actually, you don't need money. As long as you have a voice, you're protesting. As long as you're out there in the chat, you're protesting. Anytime that you guys make a comment that says something like, I love what you're doing, that kind of gives us that little push to keep on going. So that's all I have to say, guys. I'm sorry it's getting dark down here, so it's not too safe, and I'm gonna let you guys go. Thank you so much. I'll be watching though. I'll be watching.
Thank you.
Be careful, Becky.
Bye, Becky.
Bye. Bye, guys.
Right.
And we go to one of our favorites. She does have a speech accent. So Cheryl, what do you got?
Oh, I'm making it. I've got a running tab for you, John. Tonight.
I know. Just someone else I gotta take the piss out of because I love you.
No, I love it. I love it. Don't ever stop, please. Keep picking on me. First of all, I do want to thank Poe and Chad for hosting once again.
Yes, I forgot to do that. I'm sorry.
Yes, thank you, gentlemen, for
Thank
bringing
you,
us.
John. Thank you, Chad.
to
Thank
raise
you,
money.
Marilyn. I know you can hear me.
Okay, you know what? You're done. So
I've been waiting for you to beat me for a long time.
Thank you, gentlemen, for bringing us together for this important to raise money. We're criminals. We're fundraising. LRH said, "Don't ever fundraise," and here we are. So I love it. Now, as part of us protesters, we never really get to see the full impact we're making at the time. We just go out there and we're streaming and we're blah 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 doing our thing. All the second gens, Aaron, all these ex-Scientologists are actually getting calls and texts from people who are under the radar. They are watching us. They are listening to us. They see us on the street. They hear us. We are having a huge impact. We really are. So we have to keep on keeping on. We have to keep on going, keep on doing it. Be nice about it. I know it's just my thing because my family was Scientologists, so it's really hard for me to yell at Scientologists. I'm getting better at it. But I just want to just tell all of you in this community, thank you so very much for doing what you're doing, because I never thought anyone else would want to join me in putting some freaking squirrel ears on and running around outside in the street outside the church. It's wonderful. I thank you all for it. And once again, Jamie, I want to thank you for saving my life. I've never been able to say that to anyone, and I've done a lot of therapy. I've done a lot of everything. These shots really have made such a huge difference in my life. And I'm here smiling right now. So I want to thank you again for I'm just glad we were introduced through Aaron to you, and thank you for what you're doing, because it really is helping people. It's saving the world. And I think if we get all these women in the, perimenopausal and menopausal women, all these shots, we would get a lot less Karens on camera in parking lots yelling at people. Just
it was found when people were treating women for menopause. That's when, and they were saying their post-traumatic stress symptoms went away. So it was menopausal women that brought this innovation to the world.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's true. 3 years ago. And just so you know, you're very, very welcome. And I'm humble. I'm completely humbled by your comments. Thank you. You're very welcome.
Thank you. And I'm done.
Well, Jamie, you wanna give us some thoughts here as we're getting close to running down on our time?
Yeah, I mean, my thoughts are, again, this call, every time I think I understand what's going on, then I experience something like this, and then it's like a whole nother level. Like since I've kind of became public 7-8 months ago, I've not experienced anything like this here. And you guys, and there were some people in the comments, and I got some Instagram messages from people that I was in the machine with when I was growing up, saying, one woman just sent me a message on Instagram just saying how she just can't believe that you guys are here helping us, and how much relief it's giving her that you're here helping us. So, so however you can help us, I will say, if you're listening to this on the replay and this was this was moving for you, and you want to give us $1, $5, $100, $1,000, if you're moved, don't let this stop with this live. If you're listening to this, my main message is, if you're listening to this on the replay and you're moved, please donate to the SPTV Foundation, because this is going to just keep going and going and going. I know Marilyn's picking it up after this tonight, but I'd like to see this chat raise money for months,
And with Miriam, that was an excellent example. Even days, weeks after we had done the Chadathon for Miriam, people were still donating to her. So, folks, if you miss it tonight, you don't get a chance to do this, that's okay. There's still time that you can do it. There's no time limit on this that you have to do it right now, or it doesn't count. Anything that you can or will do makes a difference in this, and it's greatly appreciated. But let me also say, if you cannot afford it, don't put yourself out with something you can't do. Being here, showing your support, hitting the like, hitting the subscribe, sharing the links, that all makes a difference. You are helping in one way or another. So please don't feel, if you can't donate, that you're not going to be able to help.
Can I just do one 30 seconds, 10 seconds? Just like Secrepitus, Sarasota Jerry, Dusty, Sister Fair, like all you guys. I had no idea I was going to be on here mostly with Never End people, or I know. I just cannot tell you how much energy, like just the people in the chat, you guys being here. The only reason if I continue, as I continue to speak out, or as I continue to maintain the energy to go against my programming, it's really you guys that are doing more for that in the chat. You Never Ends in the chat, and you guys on this video than has ever been given to me before. With you guys doing this, that's what makes me want to keep doing it. So I just want to say thank you for just being here. If you can donate, please. But if just by being here, I just don't know. I just want to make sure that I communicate how much it means to us because we've been alone so long.
And Jamie, let me say this. I've said it many times tonight. I'll say it again. You are, without a doubt, doing amazing work, and we want you to know we see you, we hear you, we love you, and we are so thankful that you are here with us. And it's amazing, someone that I look up to, and every one of us here look up to you and what you've done. Hearing you be thankful we're here, we just want you to know that the same love and respect comes right back to you, brother, and we appreciate you so much.
That means a lot.
Bless you,
so, Secrepitus, what have you got to say?
Well, first of all, I want to thank Marilyn, John, Chad. God bless you three. You're giving up your time here to do all this, and it speaks volumes of you. And John, I've been following you for a while now, and you are definitely somebody, I think that you're probably the only person I've ever met via the internet that I would trust with anything, even my home address. I mean, you're just a good guy. Really appreciate you. And Jamie, thank you. Your story is fascinating. I've seen some of your content online. I've seen interviews with you, and the way you've been educating people is just amazing. And like I said earlier, you've saved lives. You had to have saved lives. You've given hopeless people hope. And just tonight, as a matter of fact, while this was going on, I went over to Amazon. I bought your book. My wife and I will both be reading it. And I'm probably going to be reaching out to you, Jamie, on a personal level, just to run something by you and ask just a couple of small questions about the treatment.
Please.
Because, I don't want to go into it here, but I want to thank everybody that's here. You've given your time. All the people that are out there watching and hitting that like button to help the algorithm, it's all helping. And, if people can donate, doesn't matter how small or how large, if you can, please do. It's important. And your actions will probably help save lives. So thank you.
Awesome. And I want to say this, I'm wanting to work with Secrepitus, Mona, and a couple other people and start putting together some kind of action plan that if you are protesting or you're auditing and someone wants to leave, they want to blow. Well, I want to put together some kind of action plan that we can get out to folks so that they have the resources that they need. You can call this number, you can do this, you can do that. But we want to start putting some things together. Also want to work with Secrepitus and a few other people on putting together some kind of training for law enforcement. We realize that is a serious problem, that not enough law enforcement gets the training they need when it comes to dealing with cults. And we want to do it so that it is free to them. And one of the big problems with training with law enforcement is, and I know this as a chief of police and as an executive, and Secrepitus can mirror that also. When you have a budget and you only have so much money to spend on training, you're going to go with what affects your department the most. But if we can get something together that can get certified state by state by state and get it out to all these departments for free, that's something that they love, and they will get as many people as they can into it. And these are things that we're working on, and we want to start putting together for people. And I have to say that, Secrepitus has been just amazing. The support he has been.
Is this my connection, I wonder?
What's that? Which one? Bobby.
Just have a technical issue.
Can you hear me, Bobby?
I think we've lost her.
I think so. Chad, I want to hear from you because you have been so loud and so obtrusive tonight. It is ridiculous.
Well, I was trying to pay attention to Jamie because he had a lot of great, he's done a lot of great things, like everyone was saying. And I also, I just want to thank everyone. I know we're not done. I want to thank all the guests. Everyone is very special, and all the viewers. Like everyone's saying, you're helping just by viewing and supporting our channels, just by watching and subscribing and liking. Everyone's part of this mission, which is really important, guys.
Can I say one more quick thing, John, before we go?
Certainly.
I also had a thought. We should really be thanking Aaron Smith Levin also.
Mm-hmm.
He's the man that started all this, and he's caught so much heat and so much hate from other people, and he just keeps going, man. The guy's a machine, and I love him for it. He's just a good guy. God bless him.
I agree.
I mean, just a second, that special shout out to Clearwater Chad, John Poe, Marilyn Honig, Aaron Smith Levin, Jenna Miscavige, Mike Brown, Ono Nora, the entire board of Miriam Francis, just a shout out to all you guys that are sharing your voice, just to second what you're saying there, Scripidus. Well said, my friend.
Absolutely. And I think that's something that we've also I think that I personally have neglected to make that point as well. A lot of us would not be here if it wasn't for Aaron. All right. He gave me my start with this. He's the one, my channel blew up because of being there with Aaron. And you know what? The guy is, if you need something, if I've got some questions, I've got something I need to know, he answers. He's a real person, and he will talk to you. He will help you. He's always willing to give you advice on things. And here it is. We're seeing something else that he's doing that he is making amazing strides in having this new foundation that he's put together. One door closes and the next one opens, and that's what he's doing. He's not letting this hold him down. And it's just amazing. And folks, please don't leave because we've got hours more to go. We have the next host coming in, Miss Honig, and she'll be bringing in her crew. So everybody, if you would, please say goodbye to the folks that are watching. And
thank you so much, everybody. This has been wonderful.
I do want to shout out Erica. I see you in the chat. We love you very much. Erica puts a lot of heart into it for non-streamers. So Erica,
look at this.
Oh, nice.
New update,
Great
$5,100 raised.
Oh my god! Okay, so I think we're going to raise the goal because we already raised half of the goal, which was $10,000. So what do you think, guys?
We can do it.
I think we're going to do it. Everybody, make sure you just say howdy to Aaron, jumping in here and keeping us updated like this. We love that. So, all right. Thank you, folks, for joining in with us. We appreciate you all. I'm going to start moving on out and start pulling everybody out and getting ready for Marilyn's. What you got, 3 hours?
We're full here. Yeah, I got 3 hours. Right. I got an hour of protester, an hour of moderators, and an hour of never in creators. So we're so excited about this. So
thanks again. I gave you a shout out, Marilyn. Everybody support Marilyn, please. Thank you, Marilyn.
Absolutely. Okay. And those that were just in, go ahead and remove yourself from the
a little bit of housekeeping too. If you're going off screen and sorry, I'm blurry. And you have your channel linked, you're gonna have to cut it because the protesters coming in, if they want to link, they're not going to be able to. So you can have your channel linked as long as you're on screen. Just a little bit of housekeeping. Okay.
That means you, Cheryl. So, well, Marilyn, I think we had an amazing start to this. We had a great panel in here, and everything went really well. I'm looking forward to seeing what you guys are going to have on your 3 hours there. So
yeah, it's really fun.
someone was saying something. Is everything okay with DOA? Someone was putting something in the chat earlier.
I didn't see that.
I didn't see that either.
Let's see.
Well, I'm sure they'll
being phone harassed by someone named Zach. He's at La Poubelle.
Never a dull moment.
Nothing for him. So, all right. Well, I'm going to step out and let you take over from this point, and I will still continue to stream this unless you need me to kick out from there.
Us three can go all night.
Excellent.
Yep.
All right. Well,
Thanks,
good luck, and
Paul.
I'll see you guys in just a few hours.
Yeah, we'll see you later. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Bye.
Bye. So here we are. You ready for this? I am super excited, everybody. All right. So let's see who we have in the waiting room. So excited. So first we have this wonderful gentleman, Selfless Self. Hello.
Hello.
Welcome.
Thank you very much.
How are you tonight?
I'm doing all right. And yourselves? Seems like it's been successful.
Yes, $5,100 already.
Wow.
Amazing.
Only 3 hours in, and we have 7 hours to go. So this is super exciting. And I think we have your partner in crime here, Pearl Snippet.
What's up? What's up? What's up?
I miss you.
I miss you too. I'm so happy to be here. Thanks for having us.
Of course. Welcome, welcome. And we have next is Mr. Saul Goodman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's up, Saul?
What's up, guys? Everyone hear me okay?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, cool.
Good to see you.
Good seeing you.
And we got someone else. It looked like he's walking LA here. I wonder what his name is. Maybe it's Dan.
Dan Walk.
How's it going, everybody? Hi, family. Good to see you all. We're in fact walking San Diego at the moment, but great to hang with you guys.
All right. Awesome. Welcome. And we have Nance Drew has a whole crew. I think they're partying it up. So she's texting me. I'm like, come on in with the link. All right. Hopefully she'll join us too. So here we are.
Yes.
Here we are.
Yes,
Indeed.
we're gonna raise a shit ton of, we can say shit now. We're 3 hours in. We're gonna raise a shit ton more money.
A whole shit ton.
Yes.
A metric shit ton.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Dump truckloads.
We have a whole hour with you guys. So I guess
I hope everyone's ready.
Yes.
Can people take an hour of all of us?
Oh shit. They barely handled us all in LA.
I know.
Not at all.
I mean, they didn't handle Selfless that well. That guy.
I don't think they can handle. I mean, Scientology can't handle a paper bag or anything that might get them out of it by any method, I think.
So if anyone has been living under a rock and doesn't know who you all are, maybe we could just do a little introduction. So
Sure.
We got Selfless Self. What do you have to say for yourself, Selfless Self?
Yeah, it's been what a long, strange trip it's been. I expected to do one weekend, and here I am. I mean, I think this is becoming like a fair amount of my life now. So yeah, it's amazing. It's miraculous. This community continues to astound me with its generosity and daring do and willingness to give of themselves and their time, their treasure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've had quite a bit of. Yeah, so you can stay on camera if you want. If you want to mute, we love doggies around here, so don't worry about it. You'll probably hear mine too.
Mine may or may not make an appearance. We'll find out.
Yeah. Well, we love dogs and cats and anything.
Yep.
Oh, we got Blakey. Woo! Oh, he's pumped up. Yeah, Scientology. F Sciento.
F Sciento.
Yeah.
And love you all, awesome badass people.
Sorry. We love you right back, Balake.
Balake.
Yeah, so Selfless, you've been out there with Pearl Snappy. You guys have had all kinds of adventures and police interaction and all the things. Well, except you haven't been arrested yet, right?
Nope, not yet. They haven't put the bracelets on me yet.
We're like 25-0.
You just
Really?
can't do it. We're slippery weasels with grease on
There
our
you
back
go.
somehow.
Oh, not breaking the law. So sad for them.
Oh, right. We're playing the
Aw.
game like
Aw,
pretty
so sad.
well. Although a lot of people are playing the game very well and just getting arrested. I think a lot of that is happening in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
And then Jay getting illegal. I mean, to me, illegally detained and, you know, being robbed of his rights a couple times in Denver and then again in Los Angeles. So
Yeah.
they play the game very, very well. Danny, DOA, and Jay, absolutely masters of this protest thing. And it might be coming for any of us.
Yeah.
No matter how good we are.
And then there's the Chicago stuff happening.
Right.
Holy crap. the boob tech and all that. Hopefully Miss Boobology herself will be on.
I mean, of all the protesters, Nance Drew, really?
Right? Like she is.
I feel like I'm at a distinct disadvantage when I show up for my court dates because my boobs are in no way involved in the situation, to my knowledge. So
They interbulate them.
I mean, obviously.
I mean, they were present at the scene.
They were with me. I tend to bring them along. That's how it works. But yeah, what sort of defense am I going to have? Should I even show up? I don't even know.
Don't worry, the person who filed on you probably won't, according to what happened to Nance. So your chances are in your favor.
Well, and you know, the city attorney probably has no interest in prosecuting two Class C misdemeanors.
Right.
More trouble than it's worth, really.
Which also is true for me a lot of times, but that's not what we're talking about right now.
Did you all see what happened in Chicago today with the police officer coming dumping a bucket of water?
Yeah, absolutely. Sergeant Dolan, 17, I think it's 74, District 1. He's a desk sergeant. So yeah, throw in those complaints about Sergeant Dolan and going way over his supposed duties.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, talk about cleaning the streets to a whole new literal level. I didn't know that's where my tax dollars went, and Scientology doesn't pay taxes, so.
And using Scientology's bucket to do it.
Oh,
the irony.
Going in and out of the org with a bucket.
The irony, the shame.
Yeah.
Well,
he's
all on video.
He's working out a title also, because I do union work on in real life, so that might be a union grievance if one of his so you can't work out a title.
Yeah. Against the janitors union outside of his absolutely. Oh geez. I mean, I've worked around union shops, as a stage worker, but I know even going onto people's loading docks, we would have to drive our trucks up sometimes, and the Teamsters would have to unload all of our stuff, and we couldn't even look at them doing it, basically.
Right. Yep, that's exactly true. Yeah, you can't take away someone's job.
Yep.
Wow. Never thought of that. Wow.
That's how that works.
So let's have a contest here. Okay. Let's go around the Hollywood squares here. What is the absolute, who gets the award for the quickest blind tech? Like, I want to know what the record is for the blind tech.
I don't know if I have blind tech. I have table. I don't know if I have blind tech.
Well, you have close it up, chop, chop, close it up.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's your table record?
I think the last one was under a minute.
Yeah, 54 seconds.
54 seconds to get them to be like, oh no, we have to take the e-meters inside the SPs.
But I think her
here.
shade tech level record is 15.
15 seconds?
Yeah.
I'll add that I think my twerking for Tanya resulted in blind tech on the door. So I think I
Yes, you did, because you made them put the plastic bubble disaster Venetian blind.
Oh my God, that's
up.
right.
Tanya was interpolated by the twerking.
Twerking for Tanya. I
That's
love
right.
that.
Tanjobi. Come on, girl.
It was going to destroy her relationship.
With her whole F Sciento family.
That's right.
And again, Tanya, if you're watching, I might yell at you when we're in the alley, but like, girl, if you need to get out, we will help you.
Exactly.
Because you got a whole mountain to climb with all that mess you're in.
Yeah, all of them.
We got connections.
Yeah, we know some people.
Yeah.
We're kind of maybe
Just a
trying to
few.
raise some money for them today, I heard.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's why
Maybe.
we're here. I don't know. I
Allegedly.
could be wrong.
Yes, exactly. It's for them, right? To get
That's
out.
right.
Get the hell out of there.
But I
Yep.
think she's a perfect example of how tricky it can be. She was trafficked in by her own family, and they're still publics. She's married into the family of the person who used to be the executive director and has a lot of money and is a whale there as far as their donations go. And she's married to Stacy's son. So, I mean, she's got a real tough row to hoe there.
Yeah.
And it's stuff like that makes you think, like, you know, for some people, it's just like, why aren't you leaving? But for people like her, it's like, I know exactly why you're not. And how do we make that easier? SPTV Foundation.
That's right. Absolutely. Absolutely. So Mix Mandy McGee, hi there, wants to know, if you donate to the foundation, can you write it off on your taxes? I don't know for absolute certain, but I do know that all the ducks in a row, they're just waiting for their official letter. It's usually a formality. And I know from founding my own nonprofit that it was retroactive to the beginning of the year. So most likely, yes. Don't quote me on it because I'm not on the board. I'm not speaking for them, but I think that's most likely, yes.
Blake.
So. Blake. What do you do now? Let me go down.
It's true.
She loves you.
This is the love that we have. It might seem
Can you
tough.
feel the love tonight, Tanjoni?
Yeah, but it is. It is with some
you,
amount
girl.
of care.
It's for you.
Wow.
I love it. I think they're sneaking and watching you. I believe it. I totally.
Well, I don't even think that they're sneaking.
Yeah.
No.
At this point.
Well, it depends on what you're. I mean, if you're OSA, yeah. But
Dan, you walked out of the stream.
Yeah, Dan walks out of the StreamYard.
I'm back, girl.
Yeah. Like
it was Cyrus, y'all. He just doesn't want to say.
Oh, we got FXP in Chicago who will be filing complaints. They didn't even do a good job of cleaning it. You would most likely still read it. All right, there we go.
Yeah, right
You
on.
can still read it.
Right
Good.
on.
Because that's not his real job.
Nope.
Oh, hell no.
Unless he's an F Scientist as well.
Tantalizing.
He said we can't put the signs on their property. It's private. But now today we were told public property is off limits. I saw that twist too.
Yeah.
What does public mean?
You have to hover. You have
He
to
used
hover.
the term city proproperty.
Hover
You can't
tech.
put it on and like same thing. So
City is public.
Trying to say.
They were.
Indeed.
They can't hang it on a tree. And
Yeah,
he was
yeah.
like,
You're gonna get the tape,
Oh,
the
weird.
residue.
Well, then they'd probably get some kind of like you damage the tree charge.
Yeah.
Right.
The residue. Oh, geez, that adhesive.
The residue gonna just ripped off some bark.
Yeah.
They're out here like hosing everything off in 2 states that are in a drought condition.
Right.
We see you.
And when I was in Sacramento with Liz just last weekend, we were literally just getting out of the parking garage. So we went around in front of the org when we left, and it was already washed up within 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Signs down, and I live in California. It's a drought state. They're just doing it everywhere. They don't care about water. Thetans.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Speaking of the Popo, we've got Lori Plays.
Yeah.
Retired.
Whoa!
Oh no.
Yeah, it won't let me stream. It says
Hi,
maximum
Lori.
number of guest destinations. Hey, everybody.
Yeah, we got room. We have room for you. Of course. Welcome, Laurie.
Thank
this
you.
is awesome. And you made a trip to Austin recently.
Heck
right?
yeah.
Yes.
Profest, baby.
Awesome. Raising the roof.
Profest was great. 10
It was
out
a
of
good
10.
time. Unfortunately, I had to cut my trip a little bit on the shorter side because my daughter was getting engaged to on Saturday, and I intended to be home. So,
And I saw that ring, and it's a good thing you were home because it is beautiful.
All right.
That is sweet.
Awesome. So we got a couple more start things here. Good evening, Marilyn and guests. Good to see you all. Thank you, Stasia. Good to see you here. Thank you for everyone joining us. Sir Crepitus, who was just on screen for an hour. Thank you so
Sir
much
Crep.
for the gifted memberships. 10 for my yay. I always do the seal clap.
Oh.
First Snappy knows that, right? Whenever I get some new cubs, I won't bark at you.
We like it though. We like it. A lot, maybe.
I've been barking a lot lately because I'm very menopausal. You know, too much information. But when Jamie was talking about that shot for middle-aged women, I'm like, maybe.
Yeah, I know. I
sign
was just
up.
like, I'm like, just go ahead and lean on in there. Don't mind me.
Summer 7 says, "Pow!" This is so much fun.
This is great. Look,
This is random, but for first comment. Hi, Susie. She'll be on later. George, you are a mess. That's one of my mods, George.
I got a message from Nancy just now. She says she doesn't have a link.
I sent her one.
Oh no.
She says she just sent me a message on Insta. She said it's not working or something. What's up?
Oh,
So I just, technology and us SPs.
I can send it to her too as well.
Can you? All right. Well, actually, see if I can. See, that's hard with text because I can't send it from my StreamYard because I don't have StreamYard on my new phone yet.
We need a better squirrel TR for StreamYard.
Maybe I sent her the wrong one. Who knows? I'm not really good at this.
Well, you only have one. It's kind of unique and stays that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, except that I have one other. I have one other
Oh.
thing on my StreamYard.
Right, because you're sus. Because you're
It's called. Well, it's my little meeting place. It's called Slut Sesh.
Nice.
And you're invited. Well, it's our work sessions. It's my work sessions with Kelly
Nice.
Copter and a couple other friends.
Love Kelly Copter. Love her.
Work like that. Work sessions.
Oh, yeah, not work.
I just texted it to Nancy, by the way.
Okay, thank you, honey.
All right.
Yeah, because it's gonna take me a while. Yeah, well, I actually invited Poe and Clearwater Chad into the Slut Sesh.
Yeah, that was fun.
So we gotta bring him back in.
Keeps walking out of stream.
Too many alarms set, and it keeps kicking me out.
Oh wow.
Oh my goodness. I'm waiting for Oh, there
Like
she
Amber
is.
Alerts or something.
There's Nancy Drew. Yay! We have the
We're all like
kitty
jazz
cat.
hands.
I know.
Yeah.
It's Nancy and her breasticles, and we're really excited.
Who thought your breasticles would be so like famous?
Yeah.
Your breasticles have their own zip code, just saying.
And now a theme song.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
She's got about 12 emojis too that I made. I just could not. I stayed up like 3 in the morning one time just making like tons of Nancy Drew boob.
I mean, boobs are
emojis.
synonymous with Nancy Drew now.
3 in the morning making like tons of Nancy
Like what?
Drew boob.
I mean, boobs are synonymous with Nancy Drew now.
Oh, who's
There's an
that
echo.
going? Someone's got their phone going.
It's
Nancy.
Oh, there we go. Oh, where'd she go?
She'll probably had to go mute something.
Oh, probably. I think
I don't
she's
know if
having
y'all
a
can
big
see this.
rager. I think
She's having a
at
party
her
on-
house. She's having a big karaoke party.
Oh, that's right. No, they were all meant to fall back into her apartment. That was the plan. I heard. That sounds like fun.
Make sure she hasn't stowed away in any of y'all's vehicles when you leave.
F Science Show building of San Diego.
Oh, well, you're making a special guest appearance at the San Diego Org.
Oh my god.
That's right.
Many.
You're gonna give me a stroke.
F Sciento. F Sciento. F
Claire, last
Sciento.
we knew about what 20 minutes ago, we were at $5,100. So
Yep.
Yes.
Ooh,
in 3 hours. I'm so excited.
that's
Our
awesome. Thanks,
original
guys,
goal
for all
was
your
10.
donations.
Yes, thank you everyone who's donating. Thank you everyone who's sharing the links and hitting the like and the subscribes and just here to support. And we're gonna be here all night long, all night.
Oh, no.
So
All
excited.
night long.
No.
Ooh, you got the voice, girl.
Yeah. All night long.
All night. Oh my goodness. Where'd Nance go? I keep watching it for her. I
Yeah.
always forget.
I was going to go grab my phone and message her, but you guys are right here.
Yeah.
We're all here.
By the way, I got
Oh.
my F Sciento.
Wait, is that merch?
You have merch?
Nice.
No, I just put these are stickers from KK that I put on a cozy from
Aw.
Academy like a lady.
Oh my
That's
god.
right.
Nice.
Nice.
Love
Look at how straight and properly spaced and everything.
Well, that was KK's doing, not mine. I had nothing to do with it. I just she knew what she was doing, and I never do. So
KK's with us in her own way.
The org's empty. The org is empty like every other org across the world.
So
who would have known?
Oh, look at this. Karen McCourt comment just donated again because Lori Plays is here.
Wow.
Right.
So many hearts to you, Karen. I love you. Mwah. Thank you.
Love it. Corn Freak is hanging.
Yeah.
Also, everybody in my chat, y'all know what to do now.
Yeah,
okay?
you were rocking out today, Corn Freak. Awesome.
I think we had Windy City was maybe gonna fly in or something.
Fantastic.
Oh, Windy City making a breeze.
It is.
Oh, look at
Breezing
you.
by.
Blown in by the
Once
wind.
for days. That's right. To KK, Oregon Valley girl.
Aw, tip a
Aw.
drink vacation night. Okay, you guys, I don't know if you know about this whole thing, but our friend Doug Scott Kramer came up with this little imbibing, partaking game, and it's called the Xenu Marlene. Have you guys partaken?
Wow. No.
Have you
Oh,
partaken?
no.
All right.
No.
I gotta get something. Be right back.
Okay.
Well, I mean,
I got water. The night is young. I got
Cheers.
water right now.
Cheers.
cheers.
All right, let's do it. Let's do it for real.
Wait, I'm gonna double fist Xenu Marlene for KK.
So we got
And
Xenu
Doug.
Marlene.
After all.
There we go, Lori.
Everybody partake.
All right, Dan, I'll do one for you.
No.
Yes. Cheers to KK and Doug.
There we go.
So Xenu is Xenu, of course, and Marlene was my evil cult leader. So we just put them together.
Oh,
The Xenu Marlene. Yeah.
there's a new Marlene.
Yep. Xenu Marlene, everybody. And just to let you know, Marlene Sweeney, I like to say her name any chance I get because she earned it with David Miscavige. And another thing, Kelly Copter made this for us. It says hello from the dung heap because she said I would always end up on the dung heap. So here I am.
Well, we are the best dung heap around.
This dung heap is the best.
That's right.
Best dung heap ever.
We are high
Nancy's
quality manure over
backstage.
here. Wait, what?
I was very honored that I had Natalie on the other day. She's like, I've been so excited. I've been wanting to go on the dung heap for so long.
Goals. Hashtag goals.
Really? My dung heap? Really? I'm so excited.
Well, who else is?
A special dung heap. Everybody partake. That's right.
OT 420.
You got him.
That's right.
Again?
Again? Are we doing? Why not?
1 for 1 for 2 for 6.
So I got to tell you. So my little baby boy, he's 22. He now works at a dispensary. He's a technical. He's a technician, but he's a grower. Okay.
Right.
And they get 3 days off a year. He found out Christmas, Thanksgiving, and 420.
Damn.
So of course he doesn't get Memorial Day off.
Yikes.
But he gets
That's
420.
harsh.
Yep.
It's a year-round sport.
Someone's probably. Oh, I'm sorry. You're backstage. See, I'm glad you. There she is again.
Yeah.
Like, hello, people. Not
Like,
I'm trying.
no, but like
I was trying to put it.
hello.
Hey, guys.
Fully tech.
There's so many. I couldn't see you all the way down there because I had to scroll all the way down. Yay, you're here.
Yes, I am here.
Hurrah.
So, what is everybody's plans for the weekend? Are we protesting all weekend? I know you were out there today, Nance. Right?
I was out there.
And Dan's walking. Not even LA. Where are you again?
You're in San Diego, and we were
San
actually
Diego.
outside of the org, which I do plan on doing a little bit of protesting at, but
Nice.
otherwise taking the weekend off.
Cool.
There you go. That's what's up.
Is it true that San Diego has the best weather of any city in the United States? That's what I heard.
False. It has been a gloomy day all day today. So very
Aw.
false.
Everyone says California's got like the best weather year round. No, we really not everywhere. Like I get feet of snow where I'm currently at.
Right.
So, yeah.
I mean, it's true, but the
I'm
May
not-
gray has been very real right before the June gloom, so it's not all sunshine and rainbows.
Nope.
Yeah, we have winter, mud season, and a little bit of something that sort of like summer.
We have summer and summer light. That's it. Summer
Yeah.
and summer light.
You had a heat bubble the other day, I hear.
No, still. It was
Still so
97, but it felt like 110 today.
Is Lori frozen? She's like this.
Yes, but it's perfect. Like, pause champ.
Are we
Pause
like
champ.
the Cult of Aaron? This is like Pharaoh Cheryl. Just Did you see Pharaoh Cheryl's short that she did? She was it was the Cult of Aaron, and I don't want to spoil it, but yeah, she had a whole thing going on about the rituals, and she was the high priestess of the Cult of Aaron.
Yes.
Hilarious.
Love
I
that.
love
Maybe I'll
this
play
whole-
it.
I love that. I love that.
This Cult of Aaron is awesome.
Yeah. I
He
mean, it
has
could
to
use more
bestow
donuts.
upon us a holy sacrament so
could
that
use
we
more
can
donuts.
follow him closer.
Here he is again. He walked off screen. We got Lori again. Is she back? Oh, there she is.
Come on.
Oh, you're frozen again?
We're nailing this. We're doing so well.
You got the technical crew here.
My internet apparently is crawling. Can you even hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh,
Hear
I
you.
might have to go get my MacBook.
Osa, lay off of the tech, okay? Don't block the signal.
Yeah,
Okay, I'll
and
be
I'm
back with my
terrible
Mac.
with technology. So, Pearl, I should have probably given you an admin thing because I don't know what the hell I'm doing.
Well, I mean, with this app, there's not a whole lot you can do on this side of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Which is
So, what do we got?
No.
The chat.
Unless you got like
That's why I like
remote desktop
Discord.
access or something, right?
That's why Discord is just the sound is so much better.
Corey says it's the OT420 crowd.
Yeah. I think you designed it that way or something.
Where's Marilyn? I don't know.
It has to be intentional.
Oh, what? Is this real? Is he arrested?
Oh
again?
no.
No, because I know there was some stuff going on before I jumped into stream.
Outside of La Poubelle?
Yeah, Francois Costner and Thou Shall Not Be Nameless and a bunch of other people.
Jeez.
All right. What's his channel again?
Defender of Ants or Iconoclasty.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. Icon. Oh, there it is. Let me look.
Damn a llama ding dong.
It's just buffering. What the heck's going on?
No,
Go check. Danny was there. Aja was there. A bunch of people were there already.
Yeah, everybody's live.
Well, the best amongst us. You know, they're going
Danny's in
after
back.
hardest.
I mean, DOA did ask for people to, kind of back them up, and then they showed. That's the power of, like KK said, that's something that Dan put in his video that really stuck with me is when you call on a squirrel, you get a squirrel. You get two.
Yeah.
You get two.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
That and just like try to be a little bit more awesome.
And just be awesome. Yeah.
You want to check it out real quick?
Well,
Yeah.
Don't
Going
forget-
on?
yeah.
This is what watch party.
Need to know.
Jeez.
All of us need to know.
You're a fucking maniac.
Is it cold? DOA got arrested! Falsely arrested! DOA got falsely arrested!
That's Danny.
With no place in the front, no place in the back.
Get him, guys. The costume's right there still.
You should know. That's illegal. Look at how much cars this is pulling up.
Aja fearless, right up on that sergeant.
No. Okay, you're here for it, but I'm telling you.
LAPD's dirty.
Right there. No driving with no lights in the front. And
Guys, where's his phone?
that is illegal. Anybody else?
Yeah.
If I drive like that, you guys
Well,
know
buffering.
in a heartbeat. Huh? Yeah, the owner, the car is still on. The owner. She just got out.
Can you guys hear us?
He got his phone.
I'm listening. I'm watching.
The owner, she just
Looking for his phone.
Can you guys? Do you guys see
They
the phone?
have it. They must have grabbed it.
You guys hear it? Someone grabbed
I
it. His phone. You grabbed this one?
You have his phone? How did you get it? On the other side?
He showed us the trick.
We got the
We already have it.
Oh, so when you stop somebody
Yeah.
in the road and you
Idiots.
Yeah.
Fucking idiots.
transportation or you give your ticket.
Right. I already have his
I'm-
phone.
So he's already gone, or
No, he's probably hooked and booked it, I'd imagine.
yeah.
Or at least hooked.
Yeah.
Wow.
Dude, I didn't know he was arrested. The last I saw, he was just talking about he may be getting 5150. So I was messaging him saying, like, this is how you get out of that.
Yeah. Never a dull moment. Holy shit.
Nope.
For real. I mean, that's LA's got a lot of nasty things and corrupt shit. Scientology has the perfect hideout there.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
I think LA #1 and Chicago's close to #2. I don't know.
No, they are.
Freaking
No,
crazy.
Chicago's y'all can have that one.
You can have that one, yeah. They just wash the concrete themselves. Haven't seen LAPD.
See that? CPD fucking washed the concrete up here.
That was gross.
Ridiculous. Yeah.
But LAPD at least won't do that.
Not yet.
Yeah, not yet.
Same sergeant that's visited over and over and has said chalk is okay on the sidewalk, and
Right.
he's the one that washed it off today. The motherfucker.
That must feel like hurt his soul a little bit. Like, damn, I'm a
I don't
fucking
know,
horrible
maybe
person.
with like the cash payment in his pocket from Scientology, not so much.
Nah, you're right. They gave him some cash.
I'm guessing he's like acting as though a puppet on strings pretty clearly. It's not police activity. None of it.
No. I mean, my spouse was like, okay, they're helping out streets and sanitation now? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, right. That's what Chad said. He was like, wait a minute, they're doing somebody else's job. What about the union? Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
right.
the union can step in and be like, yo, that's what I do.
Yeah, the custodial union of Chicago should be alerted that they got some scab action here.
Scabs, exactly.
That's more shit I can add to my reports because I'm talking to news reporters for the shit that I went down with. So
Yes, please.
Oh,
yes.
what's happening?
Awesome.
Just imagine that smear story on Scientology. Woman arrested for being assaulted.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
Yup.
I mean, it could. I told her it could be turned around that way. Like,
Semicolon. Police clean up chalk.
Yeah.
yeah,
I gotta say, just a minute or two ago, just this is random, but I looked up and there's 420 people watching. Just saying.
I seen that too.
Well,
Yeah.
players go.
Cheers.
Thank you.
My situation is clogged, so I had to go analog.
Oh my God.
It's ridiculous.
If you only have one, you have none. KK taught me that.
Yeah, true.
Aw.
Hey, that's the firefighter in her because that's what we were taught. One is none and one is none and two is one. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what kind of, like I said, that kind of got me started because I followed you, Pearl, and then I followed KK, and then that what happened to KK, and then with Selfless, I was like, you're on the chat. All you got to do is make action, and you can be from chat and protest.
Yes.
Yeah.
We were all from chat.
Yep.
Yep.
We were all in somebody's chat first.
Correct.
Yeah,
I think.
that's right. Definitely.
Yeah.
It was just alphabetical order. Austin came up first, and I was loud as hell. And turned out to be a good time.
Rang a bell that could be heard from coast to coast.
Yeah, right. It's just like, sorry, Sean and Galena, Sean Nicholas and Galena. So sad.
I got Sean pretty good though, I'd have to say.
Well, just wait till I post his website, Maker's website live, because I bought that too, Sean, in your face.
Whoops.
Ooh.
For you.
Nice.
How's that domain? How's that domain working out for you? Oh,
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I hate that guy.
I do, and I'm gonna.
I hate him.
No, and if anyone is a good cartoonist and wants to, I don't know, maybe draw some things like, I don't know, Natalie changing his diaper, I would put that on the website, and I would put only that on the website.
Tilty Bird, get on that. I'm calling out a Tilty Bird.
That's right.
Or Fluffer Squirrel. They do some good little drawings.
Exactly.
Indeed.
They helped me sleep last night with all their nice drawings and stuff.
Yeah.
You wouldn't be the first.
Nope.
Nope.
The number of emails that I have that are like, now I have to wear diapers. Now I have to not take drinks when you are live. Like all the, I'm sorry. Sorry, not sorry.
Have a beverage near me when you're streaming. Absolutely
Yeah.
not.
Well, especially because I have the F Sciento Tourette, so I'll just be like, yeah, so anyway, this is how you do a fishtail bread. Get in your cup. So, and then you can just like tie it up at the end right there, and it's fine.
Yeah, your stream should come with a depends warning for us middle-aged ladies. Because I laugh so hard. It's just like, whoops. I think I paid myself a little.
I think I did when I was in jail a little bit, but yeah.
Understandable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would have done a lot more than that.
I mean, your body was just so like confused. It was just like your boobs were fighting, your bladder was just like,
And I was
get somebody else to do it.
Oh, I got Lori back. Got her MacBook.
80-degree day, and then in a freeze box after that. Oh my god! But yeah,
love that
I'm over it, and I protested today, and I'm back in it. So,
And Chicago PD didn't give you a hard time for being there.
not personally, but I gave them a hard time after they did the wash tech. I postered up my car like a motherfucker, and
saw that
better than before. So
Looked perfect. Yeah, okay. Well, I'll just put it on my car then.
yeah, because they can't do anything about that.
That's my property. I could.
I love you right back.
Code name Soda. My brother, Mr. Self. You're an outstanding dude.
Oh, thank you.
Right? It's true.
Yes. Dudeology. Right on.
Dudeology.
It's DOA just now arrested for disturbing a religious service. Oh,
what the
what?
At
No,
La
they're Baptists
Poubelle?
there now. They're Baptists around.
At La Poubelle, though?
I'm confusion. Must
It's
be all the
not-
Baptists.
There were services across the street at
Southern
the
Baptist.
Celebrity Center. He was on his
My
megaphone for a
aching
few minutes.
foot.
What the hell?
Dude, they were blasting their music, and La Poubelle was blasting their music. So was La Poubelle disturbing a public religious service as well? So someone should be going to jail from La Poubelle. I'm
Maybe
just.
they were religiously dosing people with, things that
GHB?
would make them, not remember stuff. That's what I'm saying.
So frustrating.
Sorry.
Have you seen what they even call religious services? I mean,
a
demonstration
Child
of what it,
auditing?
well, the auditing is part of it, but maybe the video
your head.
reckless Ben did.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a bunch of people
Fine.
sitting in a room and doing locationals.
Find
Yeah,
a
exactly.
person. Find a woman. Yep.
down.
Hear us
Yeah,
out.
I remember that.
Good, thank you.
Be a person.
Right.
Or be a body. Be a body.
Dead body.
Yep. Yeah, that.
It's not quiet either because with doing TRs and everything, they're screaming at ashtrays and doing this like and everything.
I would imagine they have soundproof rooms. I heard the auditing rooms were soundproof. I thought I heard Serge say they were soundproof. So how could we disturb the auditing, the religious auditing or whatever, the religious counseling, if they're soundproof rooms?
Thetans, probably.
Yeah, Thetans.
Well, I don't think they are in Chicago. You can actually see the little booths, and there's no doors
Right.
when they go in.
Oh, really?
I can
no,
see
you
them
can
whip
see 'em.
their head around when I holler at them through the window.
Yeah, it's kind of like the back of the testing center on Hollywood Boulevard. You can see those cubicles, right, Dan? That back window.
That's right. There's like a
Yeah.
line of 3 or 4 of them in the back
Right.
window. Right. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I was told it was completely dead, and the first time I went to LA, I went back there and I saw that, I don't know, like kind of late at night, 9 or 10 o'clock at night, and they were filled.
Yeah, and I just went back the other day and literally witnessed people taking the test. They are still functioning. I have no idea how, but they're not body rounding on the sidewalk and all the blind tech is down. But I
I
saw
bet you they're
him
using
get
their
up from one of
website
those
more.
cubicles. He was sitting down with one of the F Scientos and then got up and had the Dianetics book in the bag. I'm like, of course. So
Oh.
they're still finding ways to pull the public in, unless they're like scheduled or have a reservation or something. I have no idea, but crazy.
Because you walk up and down the boulevard, you haven't seen people, right? You haven't seen them.
I have not seen any body routers in months. Yeah, it's been months.
This is interesting. I don't know how they're doing it.
Well, in Chicago, they're like cockroaches on every freaking corner until we go down there, and then we shut it all down as soon as we are there, and they scurry and hide inside the buildings. So I'm glad that we're there like as much as we are, and we need more bodies to be out there every single day.
Well, that's what the benefit of Hollywood is, that there's a lot of people locally who are part of the movement that, we go at just random times of the day, just independently. And I don't know if anybody else has caught any body routers anytime recently, but I know I haven't.
Right. Yeah, I don't think so. Yeah.
I think they're just using the internet more, and because now they have their Scientology network, so you can literally stumble onto the channel through DirecTV. Sure. So, and then because that's how I got my appointment for when I went in, but I think that's probably how they're doing it is through social media. So now we got to start protesting their I'm already doing it, but protesting their social media websites, reporting for false information, spam and child abuse, harassment, all that stuff. Like especially when they're posting about children running the Purif, that needs to be reported as child